Grace and peace, everybody. We're back. You saw the thumbnail, you saw the title, and so you know what we're about to do. We got a good live stream planned for you tonight, so hopefully you're strapped in. You're ready for a great show. Happy Lord's Day to everybody. Happy post Thanksgiving. What are we? 3 days post Thanksgiving. Hopefully you're out of your turkey coma. Hopefully you're out doing some shopping for some gifts for Christmas coming up in a month or in a couple of days. Actually, 25 days. So either way, shout out to you all. Thank y'all so much for jumping in to the best live chat on the internet. I want to say appreciate each and every one of y'all. We got a lot of videos to look at tonight. And guess what? Only one of them mentions Candace Owens. Maybe one, maybe two. But only one of them mentions Candace Owens. So we are not doing a lot of Candy Rot today. We are going to be talking about a lot of other stuff. So jump into the best live chat on the internet. Shout out to everybody who's already jumped in. And shout out to Carmen, brand new member up in the building. Shout out to her. Appreciate you joining us and becoming a new member for sure. We got a lot. Like I said, I got a whole lot to go through tonight. So I wanted to actually start at 6 o'clock. Apparently, when I updated the thumbnail, apparently the time changed. So it was saying like 11 at night or something like that. And I'm like, look, your boy might not be up hanging out at 11 o'clock at night. That's past my bedtime. So needless to say, you might not have got the notification. So shout out to everybody who's jumped into the best live chat on the internet. Blank Face, good to see you. How are you doing? Of course, those green hearts. Always let me know who's my long-term member. Shout out to everybody, long-term subscribers and friends. Good to see y'all. We got some iced coffee popping over here, and it's pretty good. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much for jumping in on this evening. Let's talk about something. I am not for the quote-unquote cancellation of people that I disagree with. I don't agree with that. I don't believe that, though I disagree with you fundamentally, or I disagree with you ideologically, or even theologically, I don't believe that you should not be able to talk or say things that I disagree with. And I might very vehemently disagree with them. I don't believe that. However, though I believe that you should be able to say what you're going to say. Okay, fine. You're going to say what you're going to say. You cannot sit there and look at, well, hey, I said whatever I wanted to say, and subsequent consequences have followed, and then you start blaming the consequences. Right? A lot of you all know that I like watching body cam footage. And I think body cam footage is a great example of human depravity, like how a drunk driver will blame a police officer for pulling them over. Somebody speeding will blame the police officer for pulling them over. You're a sovereign citizen. You know you have this fake license plate on your car, but you blame the police officer. Instead of taking the all-elusive word accountability, they'll blame everybody under the sun except themselves for what they chose to do. You have the free will to, I think it's an ignorant thing to do, but you have the free will to drive fast on the highway. You have that free will. Like the Lord is giving you the power to push your foot down and you can drive fast on the highway. Don't be upset about the consequences that come from that. Y'all know I live here in Atlanta. We drive fast here in Atlanta. We can't be upset. We have a super speeder law here. If you're so many miles over the speed limit, it's like some exorbitant, crazy fines, and they take your car. I think they make you walk up and down the highway, collect trash. I mean, it's crazy. It's called the super speeder bill. Because, I mean, there are people who are doing like 30, 40, 50 miles over the speed limit on our highways. You have the right to do that. You could do that. It's insane. It's dumb. You're probably going to put yourself and others in unnecessary harm, but you can do that. Just don't be upset when you get arrested for it and you're in jail and you're on the side of the road picking up trash. Don't be upset. You know, if I drive 110 miles per hour on 285 and if they catch me and they pit me over into a wall, I'm going to go to jail. And I'm going to be in jail for a long time. They're going to take away my driver's license. They're going to make me walk up and down the highway collecting trash. Okay, I'm taking those consequences. I'm willing to take the risk. Just accept it. Back to where I was going. We're going to look at a content creator that I've looked at a couple times here on the channel, And I knew this day was coming. I knew it was coming. When the content creator got out there and was really wilding out on YouTube, YouTube is a very finicky place. It's not an equal weights and measures. It's definitely not an even scale. But this person got out on YouTube, and they had been banned from YouTube before. They came back on YouTube, and they was really showing out, as my grandma would say. She was showing out on YouTube. Well, the inevitable happened. And mind you, this person's channel has been growing. I mean, exponentially. I mean, I got to say, at one point, I had more subscribers than this person. At the current moment, this person has like 180,000 subscribers. Crazy, right? This person is cooking. But I knew this was going to happen. I knew it. YouTube is good at doing what YouTube does, which is letting you go as far, give you as much rope as you can to delete yourself. So we're going to look at Lily Gaddis because she got her channel demonetized. I don't know how long. We're going to watch the video and find out. Yeah, I don't drive that fast now, but let me tell you, everybody in Atlanta drives fast. If you can get it, everybody drives fast. Now, I've never done super speeder levels, and I don't get speeding tickets. However, I've seen people drive, and I'm like, well, I mean, that's what we do here in Atlanta. We drive fast. I want to use this. I want to talk about this because, and the reason even I was talking about accountability is Lily did a video explaining that she got demonetized off of YouTube, and she takes no responsibility for the fact that she brought this upon herself. She already knew the first video she put up what was going to happen. She already knew that. There should have been no confusion. There should have been no, I'm not certain what's going to happen, anything like that. Everything was already laid out for her. She knew this, and she should not have been confused. Like I said, with the super speeder laws here in Georgia, you should not be confused. You should not be confused about Georgia's super speeder law. You shouldn't be confused. You know what's going to happen when you get on that highway and you exercise your free will to put your foot on that gas pedal. You know what's going to happen. If they catch you, and Lord have mercy if they chase you, just give it up. If Georgia State Patrol chases you, give it up. Just quit. If they come chasing after you, just stop. Give up. Pull up on the side of the road, get in the fetal position, because they are going to put you into the wall. I mean, they're known for this. So that you should not be surprised is what I'm saying with all of this. You shouldn't be shocked. Like, oh, I didn't think this was going to happen. I didn't know. Oh, I didn't know that this was going to happen. How dare? No, you knew it. You knew it when you stepped yourself on the interweb and got out here and started acting a fool, Lily. She knew this was going to happen. So, but let me say this. I'm not a super fan of this, but I'm a fan of consequences. There are consequences. If you eat proper and you go out and do your walk every day, or you're lifting your weights, or you're minding what you eat, the consequence is that you're going to probably have a more fit body than you have right now. That's just the consequence of it. You exercised your free exercise, pun intended, your free will to take better care of yourself. If you exercise your free will and put aside 20% of every one of your paychecks and just live off the 80% and do all your other expenses from the 80%, over time, you're going to have an abundance of money saved up. Whether you put it in a bank account, under your mattress, in a Roth IRA or a CD or whatever, you're going to have money. That is a consequence of that decision that you made. Lily knew what the consequences were. I don't understand why we're acting brand new. I don't understand. Like, we're not asking, and somebody just said right here, we're not asking that you be canceled, and I don't want people to be canceled. What I want is the consequences to be met out fairly. On YouTube, YouTube tends to be, they do what they do. They just do what they do. And it might make her more popular. The problem is she'd have to be back. YouTube is the most lucrative platform to do this kind of stuff on. Hands down. There's no other social media platform that even gets close to it, unless you want to do this outright, you know, OF or something like that. Maybe that might, even that's not, I mean, unless you're just getting Cash Apps and PayPals, really. But as it relates to monetization, YouTube is the creme de la creme. They compensate more than any other of the platforms, bar none. That's just it. Now you can make some way, you can, and the ease of use also, that's the other part that people don't realize. Like, it's so much easier for people to give on YouTube than it is to on Buy Me a Coffee or PayPal or Cash App, whatever like that. So YouTube really has a corner market on this. They got the whole market cornered like this. So that's why people scramble and scrape to get back on YouTube, even if they get demonetized, and they might be putting all their work on Rumble, which I think is a good platform, by the way. They might put all their work on Rumble and still they will do better on YouTube. It's just what it is. So where I was going with that was simply, she could be getting popular, but I think popularity only goes but so far. And it's not a matter of just, you know, a lot of people like me, or I got a lot of friends and such like that. I think truly in Lily's argument, or for Lily's sake, I think it's more, do you have people that actually want to engage in your content? And therein is the problem. For some reason or other, my side camera is not working. So we won't worry about the side camera today. All right. I'm going to pull this in. I'm going to bring this in. We're going to look at Lily's, I regret doing what I did video, if that's what you want to call it. I think it's very interesting. So I do want to hear your thoughts on it. Okay, that jumped in a little bit faster than I thought. Jump scare. All right. I think I made sure all the language is right, but I apologize if I did not. So, as I always like to say, green hearts in the chat when you can hear. Let's go.
What's up, folks? We are back again. Slightly different set today than I usually have. I'm also looking quite overweight in this sweater. I promise I have not gained weight. Well, maybe a little bit. It is the day after Thanksgiving. We got a little bit of an announcement for you guys today. So not our usual content, but the tragedy of today that we are going to be talking to is not about black people attacking more whites on the trains. Shockingly enough, we are actually going to get to talk about something different. I know that that's a common thread that seems to be happening all the time, but today, you know what's happening? They're trying to keep a real down. They're trying to keep a real down. That's what they're trying to do because they cannot handle the truth. And this is just the facts. When you come speaking the truth about certain things, if you're raising racial...
So again, I'm just going to bring the example here. Lily knows that what she's saying is not kosher, is not well received. So the idea that, well, I'm just speaking truth and blah, 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 to me is being disingenuous. You know what you're saying, and you know what you're saying is problematic for a lot of reasons, as well as on YouTube, period. So the idea and this notion of feign, like, oh, they're trying to stop a real one. They're trying to stop a real one. No, ma'am, these are the consequences. We live in a consequence society. And really, this should have happened a long time ago, truth be told. But YouTube will do that. They will let you run all the way out. I guess YouTube will be a really good fisher, because they get that fish on the hook and they let that fish just run and run and run as far as it wants to go, and then you pull it taut and start reeling it in. So I don't know why she thought that this was going to be a different experience, because she's already been demonetized before. She knew that was going to happen, and YouTube just allowed her. Maybe they wanted to see if you're going to keep going and keep wilding out. But here we go.
Awareness, let's say, if you are, heaven forbid, pro-white or a pro-white voice out there, which I am, which I always will be, and will always influence my content no matter what it is, they will try to keep you down. I've said in a couple other videos that there is a pipeline of cancellation. So what this is here's the top tier of cancellation. The top part of cancellation is they will try to smear your name. So they'll put out hit pieces and they'll try to cancel you.
I meant to stop. I'm sorry. There was something else I wanted to add out here. I know we're not going to talk about her, but notice how much this woman sounds like our friend Candace Owens. It is an uncanny. It's almost like they're reading a script. Listen to what she says. I'm gonna back up just a little smidge, but listen to what she says, and pay attention to how much of it sounds like something Candy would say.
Your name. So they'll put out hit pieces and they'll try to cancel you. But we're living in like the post-cancel culture society where that doesn't really work anymore. In fact, it actually lends a little credibility to your name and you gain kind of a little loyal, staunch group of supporters rather, of people who don't care about the media slams. Okay, so they don't quit there. When they can't defame you or smear your name or ruin your reputation, then they will try to take you off the platforms. Hang on, the dog's screaming to be let in. So I'm babysitting my mom's dog while she's away. She had to go down to stay with her sister for Thanksgiving, so that's what I'm doing today. He looks quite awkward and uncomfortable. He doesn't like to be held. He's so awkward. He's the worst cuddler. He's such a cute dog, but you can't cuddle with him. So to get back to the video, the cancellation cycle, they try to defame you. They try to take away your platform. When they can't take away your platform or get you banned, then they will take away your means of funding the project. They will demonetize you so that you cannot make the money that's necessary to continue putting out the content. If they can't stop you then, well, then they try to either jail you or ruin your life through lawfare, or like what's happening to Candace Owens, maybe even put out a hit on your life. Well, I am in the middle phase right now. I was just demonetized on YouTube. Okay, this happened this past week. I didn't announce it because I was trying to appeal the process and whatever, but that's what's going on, folks. I've been demonetized on YouTube. And I always wondered about creators who made a big deal about that until I realized, oh, that's like your sole form of income. Like, so now I'm just making videos.
Okay, I didn't mean to stop right there. I apologize. Somebody said that the dog is mad because he's black and he thinks she hates him. I mean, really, please understand. This is the consequence of your decisions. This is not a a consequence-free world that we live in. This is not a video game where you make a mistake and you respawn and you just try again. You try to jump across a cliff, you respawn, try again. No, this is not it. There are consequences and everything is for keeps. So this is and we knew this. We know this on the terms of service when we join YouTube in the partner program. And they could be finicky. I know people who've been demonetized for far less than what Lily Gaddis has been doing. And I told y'all the story 2 years ago. I got my entire channel removed. They took my entire channel away from me 2 years ago over something far less egregious than anything that Lily Gaddis has done. I've never said anything about it. Like, dang, she gets away with some bona fide foolishness, and y'all took my whole channel away for 7 days actually. Wow, that's kind of wild. So, but this is the thing though, ma'am, these are the consequences of your actions. Don't try to separate your actions and say, well, my actions are pure as a driven snow and the consequences should be as follows. No, that's not the case. No. Sometimes your consequences are just perfectly pure. Maybe you get the wrong consequence. That can happen. But that's not what has happened to Lily Gaddis by any means of measure. Finish up. Let's go.
For free, and I have the electricity bill for all the billions of lights that's in here. I have to pay for the equipment. Okay, now he looks like he's dying. I have to pay for the equipment. Okay, get down. Just stop whining at the door. Yeah, lay down right there. You got to pay for the equipment. You still have to pay for the people who make the thumbnails. You got a lot of bills to do, aside from the builds of natural life there. So yes, I have officially been demonetized on YouTube, which was my sole form of income. Aside from a few tiny little outlets here and there, YouTube was my main money maker. And I'm kind of stupid. I don't have a 5-year plan. I don't plan ahead. I live in the moment. I put it all out there. I'm an open book. I live with my heart on my sleeve. You know, if I say something, I mean it. I couldn't censor myself. I refuse to censor myself. It's just impossible.
But that's not no. Lily, you can censor yourself. She has her own URL, her own website, where all of her content is uncensored and it is completely off the rails. Ma'am, you can do that and you can have your censored material here on YouTube. And you can still send people to your website or to your Patreon. You don't have to put it on YouTube. And you can play the YouTube game and you don't have to get demonetized. But see, you don't want accountability, Lily. That's the problem. And I don't want to talk to you like you're my daughter, but you're dang near her age, a little bit older than her. Baby, these are the consequences for your decisions and your actions. And if you don't want the decisions or your actions, guess what? Don't do those things. It really is not a surprise nor a shock. It should not stun an adult human that's lived longer than 20 years. That should not surprise you that there are consequences for your decisions. That's why you don't have a job in real life. That's why your real only moneymaker is YouTube, because of because of the decisions that you made in real life. And you knew this. You knew this. I mean, the terms of service and the partner program application is very clear what they don't want. They're regularly updating that, letting you know what you can't do, what you can't say. And Lily, you haven't even been towing the line. You have been monster trucking over the line forever. And this should not be a surprise. There are consequences. We can say we got free speech till the cows come home. I got free speech, but I know one thing: I better hit mute when I want to say it if it's going to contradict what I'm doing here on YouTube. It's really that simple. I can just real quick, this is what I, and now I'm back. See, just do that. You don't have to do this, but I'm taking accountability because I realize that I am responsible to play this game with YouTube until I get to which by the way, is funny that you don't have a 5-year plan, because I do this. I have a 5-year plan. Until I get to my 5-year plan, I'm gonna play the YouTube game. I'm gonna play the game with them. I'm gonna play patty cake. They want to do some double dutch, some hopscotch. Okay, fine. Sometimes it's like you're playing Calvin ball with them. But Lily, this should not be a shock.
Possible. I really tried. My best. Believe it or not, what you saw on YouTube was the vanilla me. It was like the vanilla of the vanilla. And I tried my best, but they want to keep a real down, okay? And that's what they're doing. So, all of that to say, we will persist. The truth will prevail. These people think, and in all seriousness now, these people think that if you take away people's form of income, if you ban them off of platforms, for I'm sure I will be banned on YouTube soon, they think that can stop the truth. Well, it can't stop people's eyeballs, okay? So even if there was not a single podcaster in the world talking about these sorts of things, you see it for yourself. You've experienced it for yourself. You feel a fear about walking around in the streets that you pay for. You feel fear to get on a train, despite the fact that your taxpayer money goes to pay for that train, because it's dangerous in society. We just happen to be talking about it. We're just not lying. We're just telling the truth. And the people who tell the truth are attacked constantly. My friends are being sued for millions of dollars. The censorship clouds are really moving in. It's starting to get bad out there, folks. It's starting to get bad out there. So if you want to support what I'm doing, because I will always be a pro-white voice, I will always be a pro-white activist, you know where I stand on that. I have started a new channel. It's called Club Gaddis over on YouTube as well. So if you want to go support.
So one of the things YouTube does not like this. And I didn't realize, I didn't pay attention.
If the powers that be who have certainly got the call.
I'm going to tell you right now, her days on YouTube are numbered. I'm telling you right now, YouTube does not like if you get banned for ABC channel and you turn around and you start XYZ channel or Club XYZ channel, it's a wrap. You are guaranteed to get banned off of YouTube. Give her by Christmas. Let YouTube find this out. Because this video is on YouTube, by the way. As soon as YouTube finds out that she has another channel and they've already demonetized her, once they go ahead and ban her off of here, they're pulling every one of those channels. And they don't like when you skirt around their monetization. Yeah, she's going to get in trouble for this.
If the powers that be get their way, we will not be around for much longer. So what I'm doing on this other channel is I'm promoting cultural values. I'm promoting like Euro-American values, and I'm trying to take everything that I've learned in politics and actually put it towards something that can help the country.
This is something else. I know I'm getting a lot of trouble for this one. And here, let me big screen myself so I can get in trouble. I'm finding this really adorable. There's this underswelling, this movement of people that haven't been on the planet 30 years that are trying to preach about what they've learned. That foolishness is completely bonkers to me. Ma'am, have you voted for 3 presidents yet? Please go sit down. Have a seat. Sir, do you even shave? Sir, please go have a seat. Go have a seat. That is crazy work to me that people, what have you learned? What have you really learned in your sub 30 years? I would love to hear it. I'd love to hear it. Please go sit down. Now, I'm not saying that every old person is wise. I'm not saying that every young person is a fool. What I am saying, however, is somebody who has barely been on the planet 30 years and you're going to go around and tell people how to move and what to do. I'm sorry, that's just not, that's a fool's errand. We see a lot of them doing this. There's a lot of them out there doing this stuff. And it's amazing. And then if we raise the limit to 40, these sub 40s that are out here running amok is pretty interesting. Like, y'all wild, man. Y'all are whole wild. So back here, what can I learn from you, Lily, when you can't even control your own mouth? You can't even control the words that come out of your mouth to play the game properly on YouTube so you can remain keeping your viable form of income. What can you honestly teach me? I'm interested. What could you honestly teach me when you don't even have the self-control to manage your own mouth? Your own mouth. You can't keep your own mouth quiet and roll with the punches and try to make it work so that you can stay monetized because you got all these bills and expenses. But I'm supposed to listen to you? Okay, I got you. That makes no sense whatsoever. And there's a lot of them that do this. I don't know where this has come from. And I'm calling on all the old heads, all the older people. We need to come and grab a hold of these youngins and tell them, sit your butt down and shut up. Sit down. Be quiet. No. And again, I'm not saying that you can't learn anything from a child. I'm not saying that. I learn things from my kids all the time. As a matter of fact, my kids took me to watch a play yesterday. It was a musical. They love musicals. And they were like, Dad, we want you to go to this play. We want you. I'm like, what about your mom? Like, what about your mom? Like, babe, go to this play. My wife went and saw it, had already seen it already, right? And they took me to see this play. I liked it. I gotta say, it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. I love hanging out with my babies. Big girl came back from college. We went and watched the play. It was a lot of fun. I learned a lot. And then to hear them explain some parts that, what did you not? Because I'm always going to get a quiz because they always want to make sure I'm paying attention because, your boy can close his eyes or go to sleep with his eyes open, right? And I paid attention. And they were like, so what did you think about this part? I said, well, hey, I didn't understand this. And to hear them explain it, it was really like, dang. I almost want to go back and watch it again. Like, dog, that was informative. I learned a lot from a 15 and an 18-year-old. Absolutely. So I'm not saying that children can't teach you something. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying, however, is they weren't going around saying, let me tell you something, old man. Sit on down and let me give you some knowledge. No, they were asking questions, and we had a good dialogue. It was a very amicable, respectful exchange, and I learned a lot from them. So I get that. But for Lily to be up in here, Lily up in here, fresh off of demonetization, trying to tell somebody how to do something is nasty work. I'm sorry, ma'am. Please go have a seat. Go figure out what you did wrong. Therefore, because if she's already tried to appeal it, that means YouTube has given her the opportunity to make the correction and she has not made the correction. Probably YouTube wanted her to delete all those videos. That's probably what YouTube said. You got videos on here with all this foolishness. You got to get rid of that. And she wasn't willing to do that. And so they probably put her on a 90-day and they're going to probably put her on a 180-day and they're going to probably pull the channel. They're going to pull her other channels. Ma'am, there's nothing I can learn from you. I can't learn anything from you. I'm just trying to understand. So needless to say,
I think at this point we're all somewhat black-pilled. Like there's a global cabal that runs everything. There are powers that be, shadowy creatures that we now know who they are, that control the system. They control the tech. They control Silicon Valley.
But who controls your mouth? Baby, that's your free will. That's your own. Okay, fine. You know what? The cabal is out there caballing. Sure. Okay, no problem. The cabal is caballing. They out there caballing, doing the cabal thing at the corner, right? But that doesn't stop you from opening your mouth. That's like saying that, well, the Georgia Highway Patrol is all the way down 75 to Atlanta, to the airport. Every corner, there's Georgia Highway Patrol. Okay, they're out there patrolling. Am I going to be speeding? Because that's my fault. I know they're out there. I know the highway patrol is out there. They're going to get me if I'm speeding. Lily, take accountability, boo. Take accountability. This is what you deserve.
Control our politicians through all these different methods, and this is just the facts. And there's really not a lot we can do about that. We can try to infiltrate the institutions. We can try to gain institutional power, and that's what I suggest any young man do. And we can support creators who are out here discussing this. There has been a great awakening in the past year, the past 2 years. People know the genie's out of the bottle. The game is up. We know. We're on to you. We know who you are. We know what you're doing, and we know what you want from our country. And there's no stopping that awakening.
That's another thing, another problem that I've picked up. People think way too highly of themselves. I'm going to tell you, I try my very best to not be grandiose and say that the JWIT podcast is going to change all of the world. There's no way I'm going to ever say that soberly, right? I'm just not. Because I realize, as being a churchman and being involved in a church community where I'm responsible to this almost 300 people that look to me as their deacon and look to me to be a leader in the church, this is the people that God has called me to be responsible for. I'm probably not going to change the world, change all of Atlanta. I'm probably not going to change all of Cobb County. I'm probably going to end up being a blessing to these 300 people and the 5 people in my immediate family that I'm responsible to. That's going to probably be it. I'm fine with that. I have no belief, I'm under no delusion that I'm going to be some global change. Not at all. Not sitting here in my office talking loud, I'm not. I'm just not going to do that. It's just not realistic. I'm going to be a blessing to my church community, my immediate family, probably my neighbors, because y'all, I'm working good at de-weeding my yard so that their yards are de-weeded as well. So I'm probably going to be a blessing to them, and probably my barista at my local Starbucks. That's going to probably be the extent of my impact. Now, of course, I'm sure by God's grace, I can do some other things, but I'm not under any delusion that I'm under part of some global whatever. And that's what I see with these people right here. Their assessment of their abilities way over kicks their coverage. Ma'am, you can't even keep your mouth shut. You can't even manage your words in a way to not get deplatformed and demonetized off of YouTube. That's got to be, I mean, if I can find a copy of it, the terms of service on YouTube is probably very much akin to second grade behavior chart. Like, don't use bad words. Don't hit your friends. I mean, really, it's really that simple. And if you can't do that, how are you changing the global world? And Lily, stop it. I was not supposed to laugh at this.
So what I can do, I can't change politics. I'm never going to run for office. I don't think women belong in politics. This is as close to the sun as I shall fly when it comes to politics. So I just got a notification on my computer. So I can't do much in the political scene. I did my part. I've got not gonna lie. I did a good part in the cultural awakening. I helped to break that glass ceiling of cancel culture and of stigmatized speech and a political correctness. And that's what I wanted to do. I came in like a firebrand and I destroyed it. Okay. I've enjoyed politics to its max.
But if you, ma'am, you didn't. You really didn't do that, though. All you did was insult people, isolate yourself from people that could possibly help you or maybe even would want to work with you. You isolated yourselves from them, and now you're demonetized off of YouTube. I don't know what you did that was noteworthy. Remember, you were the one saying that we could learn from you. What could we honestly learn from you, man? We've learned actually what not to do. Maybe this is like an episode of what not to wear. Okay, maybe we should not wear victimhood on our shoulders. Maybe we should not wear unaccountability. Maybe that's what you're trying to teach us, Lily.
Debated Piers Morgan about racial slurs on national, international television. All right. I went nuclear.
No, okay. I don't mean to keep stopping. I know somebody's going to say, Jason, they don't like me stopping. Guess what? I'm going to keep doing it. Man, that wasn't a debate. You were just yelling back and forth with Piers Morgan and Mark Lamont Hill and his effeminate self. No, man, that wasn't a debate. But even more than that, fine. You use a racial slur. But what did you actually accomplish in doing so? Nothing changed. You didn't change the culture. All you did was show that you as a human are not sympathetic to other people. That's what you just showed. And now you're sitting here belly aching like, oh, I got demonetized. The cabal is caballing on the cabal. Ma'am, no, you did this to yourself, Lily.
Politics to its max. I debated Piers Morgan about racial slurs on national, international television. All right. I went nuclear viral for using a racial slur. I accrued a platform. I've talked all about politics. I've enjoyed talking about politics. I've enjoyed talking about the issues that have befallen our country. But there's two sides of me. I don't just want to rant about, crime statistics, because they will always be with us. Until we can fix this problem, that will always be with us. But what we can change is we can change our culture one person at a time. And that's what the girls are for. That's what the girls can help do. We can help impact the culture. We're not going to run for office. We're not going to be politicians. We're not going to be the next Uncle H. But we can help influence culture, fashion, art, literature, architecture, style, and society at the micro level. So that's what I want to try to do over on my other channel, is affect people where it can actually have an impact.
It's funny because she started, if you're familiar with her, she started when that trad wife thing was really popular. Doing cooking videos and these quote unquote traditional women. I don't know if she's married or was married or has a kid. That's not my argument at all. However, she was really popular there. And then one day, I don't remember what happened. I don't know if she was inebriated or whatever. She was doing a video and she was just dropping the N-word like left and right. Something about don't marry a broke guy or something like that. And that's what really jettisoned her out of that space. But ma'am, that's what you were doing there, and you couldn't control yourself. This is the thing where I'm saying, like, there's no accountability for the fact that, ma'am, you ruined your own platform. It's not the cabal. It's not black folk. It's not crime statistics. You don't have self-control. Real short, real simple, you lack self-control. And you got out here in these streets and you realize, if I drive fast, Georgia State Patrol is going to pull me over. And if I drive fast and try to get away from them, Georgia State Patrol is going to run me over. It's really that simple. It really is that simple. And you now realize it, and you're trying to find a way to blame police. You're trying to find a way to blame folk when, ma'am, the problem is you. You are the problem, Lily. The problem exists right there in your lap. And you got to take all ownership of that. Take ownership of what you've done. You did not play the game. This was a football game. You came out here playing soccer. This was a swim meet, and you came out here playing pickleball. Ma'am, this is your fault. You did not play the game correctly, and don't be mad that they put you in timeout. That's really it. Let's go.
People start taking pride in themselves and who they are, taking pride in how they dress, taking pride in the homes that they make for themselves, taking pride in their heritage. That's what I hope to achieve on my channel. So if you want to go over there and support, I know my members on my members only club here, you guys got nuked. Okay, we all got nuked. It's over. Okay, we're cooked. But I do have my membership set up on that other page. So if you want to go to Club Gaddis.
Wait, how do you already, hold on. How do you already have a new channel monetized already? Again, YouTube is not going to put up with that. I'm going to tell you that right now. If that's what she's done, she's already just, how did you monetize a channel already? A new channel? I don't think that's true. But I digress. My point is simply this. YouTube's going to find that out, and they're not going to be pleased with that. And you might find that you're not able to get back on the back in the saddle, so to speak, as you would like to. Hold on, this new channel is not monetized. Let me see real quick. No, it is. How did she get it monetized? This must have been around a while. This must have been one that she's already had for a while. That must be it. Yeah, this channel's been around for a while. Okay, it was just a ghost channel that she had. Okay, let's finish up.
Over on YouTube as well. I've got memberships up there. And it should be a good time. We'll be back in business. And like I say, it's not going to be the same content because I feel like I've been there, done that. I don't want to just rail on the same things. I want to explore other things. I want to actually change things. I came in here, I've learned a lot about politics. I've changed my mind about a lot of things. And now I want to help try to impact and change culture, like I said, from the micro level. So we're going to be looking at our heritage, society, or the way we dress, because I love clothes, despite the fact that I look like garbage right now. That's what I want to do over on that channel. So like I say, if you want to support me, go there.
I really don't think she's thought this all the way out. And because again, if you follow Lily, she started out as doing that trad wife thing back in the
Buy Me a Coffee. It is
2002 or whenever it was, 2002, 2022, whatever. I think she really missed the boat on that. She messed it up.
Help the cause, because it is hard when your main source of income. I just basically lost my job. Okay. And I'm not complaining. It is what it is. And frankly, if you're not demonetized on YouTube or banned on YouTube, you're probably not over the target and you're probably lying. Okay.
No. Or here's another idea. Here's another crazy idea. Maybe you recognize that as a Christian, me being out here over the target is not representing Christ properly. So I'm not going to go out here and just start saying wild stuff about white people or Indian people or Asian people because I'm over the target. No, I'm not going to do that because it's not appropriate. I can still have a dialogue and discussion. We're going to watch a video about Muslims in a second. We can have a discussion and not be disrespectful to them and just be like, okay, we're going to disagree on this matter, and we're going to always disagree on this matter until we make some kind of inroads, but I don't have to be disrespectful to them. And that's where I think Lily is missing that. Because again, she has like a basically second grade understanding that, hey, if I'm saying something true, it doesn't matter. My mom said I can punch anybody in the face if they said something. Okay, and now look what happens. There's rules. There's things that you can and cannot do, even if somebody told you to do it. That just doesn't make sense. So let's bring her back. Let's get done. Oh, Lily Sue.
So we're not toning it down. We're not shifting. We're not rebranding. We're just taking the fight in a direction where I can actually have an impact. Okay. Like I said, if I wanted to pursue politics, I would go into politics. I would run for office, but I have no intention of doing that. I have too much of a temper. I'd end up probably going to jail. Can you imagine me on a debate stage with these people? I would lose my temper. I have too much of a temper for that. So I want to tap into more of my feminine side. I want to tap into more of other things that interest me. And I want to take the political cause and bring it to the culture. I can't change politics, but I can change culture. I can inspire people to be better. I can inspire unity amongst us. And you know what I mean by us. And that's what I want to do. And that's where you can find me, Club Gaddis, or at Buy Me a Coffee. So anyway, little rant, little ad, doing an ad for moi, pour moi. But that's the show. Hope you enjoyed it. Also hope.
All right. So I just want to bring that in. And ma'am, just be accountable. Stop blaming the YouTube overlords or the technocrats or whatever the term is this week. Stop blaming them and just accept, like, yeah, they told me not to do this. And I was out here wilding out in these streets. I was doing the most. And that's just accept it. There's no reason to you don't have to make it something else that it isn't. It's your fault. And that's just what it is. Shout out to my own Buy Me a Coffee. Help your brother out. Absolutely. Yeah, and she dogged them all out. Absolutely. And I just think it's adorable that instead of accepting the consequences, because we live in a consequence society, people want to put that off and don't want. Lord have mercy. Real quick, I'm gonna let Mike come up in here real quick. Mike, this is for you. I'm not gonna be super long because I got a long night. All right, Mike wants to be a devil's advocate. He wants to jump in and tell me something that I'm missing. So we're gonna let Mike come up in here and give me another angle on it. So y'all don't cheer Mike on. Don't y'all all just start typing Mike in the chat. Do not type Mike in the chat. That's gonna make his head swell up. Do not start typing Mike in the chat. Don't do that. Do not do it. I do not accept that. I do not approve of that message. Words have consequences. And if they say don't do those types of things, you just don't do those types of things. It's really that easy. All right, what do we got here? All right, let's see what we got. Oh, merciful Lord. What's up, these hands, Terry? How are you, friend?
What's up? What are you doing?
Hey, man, hold it together, man. Grace and peace. Happy post Thanksgiving to you. That background, man, is looking stellar.
Yeah, I cooks, my guy. I got an alternate take on this.
Okay, go ahead. Let's go.
And because I don't have followers and don't really need followers, so people can be upset at me and they can continue to follow you. Is it beneficial on the YouTube stratosphere for them to pick and choose who they want to demonetize?
No.
And
I've said,
and
now, mind you, I don't know when you hopped on. I've said that YouTube.
I missed the first maybe like 25, 30 minutes. So I came in.
Okay, no, I've said YouTube be YouTubing, and they be it's not an equal weights and measures. Because like I said, I told my story when I lost my channel. I've done less than what Lily has done. That time when I lost my channel for that week, remember that?
Okay, yeah, but there's the devil's advocate. What has she done that's worse than other channels on YouTube? That's the question that I think that we struggle with. And I'm not saying that it's not bad. Hear me out, people, before you start talking crazy to me. I'm not saying that what she did not do was not horrible. But what I'm saying is that I could probably pull up 5 or 6 comic channels that are worse than what she has been penalized for. I go back to in the first presidential run, they found Trump's Twitter and they deleted it like without they didn't even get a warning. They just said we're going to ban him from all social medias.
Yep.
Now, mind you, there's probably 60% of the social media atmosphere at the time, at least on Twitter, was pornography, violent videos, child pornography. So they couldn't get rid of all those, right? Mm-hmm. But the powers that be were able to get rid of sitting president off of all social media. And so my question is, what does this solve if you're simply target practicing certain aspects of YouTube when there's 1,000 other channels out there that are doing just as much damage? There's a wrestling channel that I came across that is mad that there aren't enough black faces in wrestling, and it takes very, very vulgar aim at the racial construct of WWE as well as other wrestling organizations, and actually goes as far as to attack wrestlers who aren't black enough, and actually names wrestlers and say, well, you were just a coon, or whatever phrase there are. So it says comedy is different than a serious slander, but people do it all the time. I mean, comedy is slander. Comedy is made up stories about stuff that's never happened. The comedic element is almost all lies. So comedy is slander. But go ahead.
I agree. And I'm just going to say right here on YouTube and not other social platforms. I'll just say right here on YouTube. And again, I said in the beginning, YouTube does not give equal weights and measures. But when we join the YouTube partner program, we basically say we're going to play this game. There's a game that we're going to play, and this is how you play it. Now, for the most part, most people don't ever get close enough to the line to ever feel like, oh, I'm going to get demonetized, or I got a video taken down, or any of these other, because YouTube has a lot of means to punish you without taking your channel away. Okay. But Lily Gaddis has been monster trucking over the line for forever since she got on the platform. And so
I'm not saying that.
Yeah,
I'm not saying.
so-
I'm just asking the question: how helpful is this? Because when we had the David 20, the kind of want to get you in trouble when you had the David 20. Anybody who questioned that was getting demonetized. Anybody who questioned that was getting taken down. Anybody who questioned anything about the government or any conspiracy theories was getting tortured.
I got you.
And
Again, I'm not saying that it's right. I'm not saying it's right. I don't think it's productive. I don't think, and I started out even saying, I am not a fan of people losing their platforms. I want them to stay so they can get they can get scoured by the audience. So I don't want somebody to lose their platform or their channel. I don't, as much as I don't like Candace Owens, I don't want her to lose her platform. I don't like Robin DiAngelo keep her platform up. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I have no problem with that. Let the market decide if they're going to rock with these people. But eventually the market can equalize itself if we don't do these type of dumb things like take down channels willy-nilly, because again, or demonetize people willy-nilly. Now, there's another angle that we didn't talk about is I'm pretty sure that YouTube has done something, whether that be they took down a video, they demonetized the video for her to kind of give her let you know, hey, what you're doing over here is wilding out. So this victim complex that she's exerting and, making herself the martyr, ma'am, that's your fault. You are a full adult. We're not talking to children over here. These are adults. And ma'am, you're an adult on YouTube, and therefore you know what to do, what not to do. And she knew this in the beginning.
Because I get it. I just again, like I'm dealing with IUIC here in Phoenix, who's flat out cold. They don't like white people at all. And none of their stuff is ever getting demonetized. I mean, they're making people kiss their boots and making it. So that's why I'm not condoning. I hope somebody understands. It says she's too damaging to stay up. She needs to be taken down. Disagree. I can name 50 other channels or send you 50 other links that are far more damaging than what she's doing, including people my melanin and my color who don't like white.
Right. And so that's all I'm saying. And all I wanted to point out was the woe is me, everybody's mean to me mentality that Lily was presenting. I'm like, Lily, no, you knew this. It's not like they just popped up out of the blue today and said, YouTube decided that Mike has a brown shirt on and dreads. We got to get rid of Mike. They just popped up out of the blue. You knew this. It wasn't like what you were doing was brand new. Like, oh, wait, I did not know that you cannot have a light blue Stanley Cup on camera. Oh my gosh, I didn't know that. No, you knew this. So we're not talking about, and again, I'm not minimizing the other channels that are far worse. All I'm saying is Lily has been not towing the line. She's been blasting past the line since she's been on the platform. I talked about her literally 6 months ago.
But that's the question. That's the question I think I'm getting at for the discussion later that people can think about. What is the actual line? Because if YouTube moves the line whenever they feel like it, right? And I hope that they don't come for you because of this discussion we're having. They don't have a line that they're consistent with. So what they do is they pick and choose who they want to demonetize, or who they want to shadow ban, or who they want to do whatever, because they move the line. And so if the line is offensive speech, leave it at that for all offensive speech. If the line is slander, then get rid of CNN, that whole channel slander, and even some Fox News stuff. So I mean, if there's a line for the content creator that YouTube wants to hold to, right, then they need to, in my opinion, and I hope if there's somebody watching or listening, I hope they be more consistent instead of picking and choosing which sins that they don't believe in are more egregious to them, because YouTube has a Pride Month, right? They'll change the YouTube logo to the alternate lifestyle flag, and they will have a whole thing. And so if the concern is here's our moral fabric, right? And it's just a discussion. Don't hate me, whatever. It's just a discussion to say that on this platform, there is a lot of hypocrisy. There's a lot of bias. There's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes that some people don't, from the audience, they don't even know what we deal with as content creators about stuff. We get strikes and warnings for stuff that everybody else does. And so
right, for sure.
That's just in this discussion. I wonder if it's because, dare I say, the color of her skin. It makes more sense to take that action against somebody of that color, skin color, because if you take it against somebody like us, if they demonetize a content creator of color, all Hades will break loose.
Facts.
We talking about GoFundMe campaigns. We talking about all types of emails going out. We talking about Al Sharpton taking his bonnet off and coming down and trying
Al
to
Sharpton in the building.
Yeah, we talking about Ben Crump filing a lawsuit. Like, we talking about all of these different things that are happening that will essentially not be a fair representation of what their actual rules are. And I'm not trying to cap for the lady. I'm just saying that if this were a Hispanic content creator, or like when's the last time we knew a content creator that we know of a different color that got demonetized of this level? I can't name one. There's probably one out there that we have to go look for, but I like Catherine Brandon's comment. I like free speech because I know who I'm dealing with, and I can choose not to deal with them or not. Yeah. Now, if they want to make their rules a little bit more clearer and less hypocritical, and I'm all for it. But there's just some words you can't say. You can't cuss in the first 5 minutes of your video. Not that's what I do. Like, they have these rules, but there's all types of things that are hold on, commander. Yeah, I name one. I mean,
it's very possible.
But that was just my alternate viewpoint. That was all it was.
Yeah, it's all good, Mike. Appreciate you, brother.
Yeah.
And my goal was, again, not to. I'm not trying to drag any other content creators. I'm not trying to get out there and get people in trouble or anything of that nature. What I want to point out, however, is just that in this response, or in this video, Lily is 100% in control of what has happened to her. It's not YouTube. I don't even think it's necessarily YouTube being biased or disingenuous in how they handle her dealings. Lily already knew this. She already knew this. So we don't need to theorize and hypothesize whether or not YouTube was being unfair. She already knew she would been demonetized before and kicked off the platform. They let her back in, and now you back out here doing the exact same thing. This should not be a surprise. So therefore, the Hodge twins might be wilding out. There might be Latin people who are far worse. The IUIC Black Hebrew Israelites are clowns. Yeah. But Lily, you didn't have to be included in this number. That's it. You didn't have to be. So, all right, let's go. Mike, I appreciate you, man. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I'm gonna do some research, like offline, and just try to find out if someone has a compiled list of channels that have been demonetized and see how it lines up, because I just think that this discussion brings to the forefront the preferential treatment of those that they feel may have been oppressed or may have been, there's a clear preference towards at least us as far as content creators because of the way society is, and everybody's trying to counteract Trump and all these different type of stuff. So in this conversation, I'm just thinking, if in my opinion, with the exception of some, with other avenues of like punishing somebody, I think demonetization of content creators of color is going to be far and few between. And for the person that said Candace was demonetized for a year, she had her own platform by then, so her missing YouTube money was, she's getting $50,000.
She was demonetized after she left the Daily Wire, but again,
so I mean, already collected a few $1 million. So Lily's probably working at the car wash now. Yeah, so,
for sure, she's gonna be working at the car wash.
She's gonna be a barista. Yeah, so
that
was my take. Just wanted to give an alternate question to the discussion about the unfairness of the social media platform and how they deal with content creators. We deal with a lot you guys don't know about, and so yeah, that was it.
I appreciate it, brother. Thank you, man.
All right, I gotta go to Lolo's and get some soul food because I'm hungry.
Get some food, man. Catch you in a minute.
Yeah. All right. God bless.
Be good, Mike. Thanks, brother.
All right, later.
All right, that was Mike from White Label Consulting. Thank you so much, man. Always good to have him pop in. Real quick, I want to say thank you so much. Thank you so much, Carmen Moore, for becoming a new member. Shout out to Carmen. Shout out to the brand new members in the building, as well as Amethyst Angel with the $5. Maybe we should make a list of all of CEO's sponsors and deluge them with complaints and troll them on Yelp. Dastardly, ain't it? She'd go broke faster. I understand that. I don't like putting out fake whatchamacallits. And I mean, I know people probably have. I don't like doing that, but I totally get it. I really believe God is going to humble Candace in a way that we could never even imagine, never even touch how God can humble Candace. And that's what I'm just waiting for the Lord to humble her and praying that the Lord keeps me humble so I don't need to be humbled. That's where I'm at. But thank you so much, Tina. There's Mike from White Label Consulting. Check out what he's doing over there if you are a streamer and you want to get better at streaming. Yeah, I mean, ABCD 4273. Yeah, she was wilding out. So she should not, she shouldn't be shocked. That's what I'm saying. Like, she shouldn't be, clutching her pearls. Like, I can't believe I got demonetized. Ma'am, you knew this was going to happen. They let you run it. Hey, is it funny that they did it at the end of the month? Because, she probably had been clocked in. Let me look at that real quick. I'm going to tell you, I bet you I know exactly what they did to her. Because YouTube knows how to hurt you. They know how to hurt you in ways that you just don't see. I bet you I know exactly what they did to her. Hold on, wait. Okay, I got a feeling I know exactly what they did to her. Yep, I know. That's what they did to her. Here, let me show you what they did to her. YouTube is sinister. YouTube is violent, y'all. Okay, this is exactly what YouTube did to her. All right, I'm looking at ViewStat right here. Let me pull this in for y'all so y'all can see with me. Boom. ViewStat. This is where you can see everybody's statistics, their YouTube statistics. So in the last 30 days, last month, she had 2.8 million views. That's some pretty good views. That's some pretty good view numbers. So she has some pretty decent numbers. So, I mean, she was, and notice here, if you go to ViewStat, there's a, when you have positive increases, the numbers are green. Well, this one right here is yellow. I'm sorry, yellow. It's red. And that was on the 19th of November. Some reason or another, she had something happen where YouTube told her to, or she chose to remove almost 250,000 views. That means a lot of videos were taken down. Why did she take down those videos? Was that when she got demonetized then? And she tried to, because she said it happened earlier and she's just telling us now. So what YouTube probably did was let her run up the score. So it looks like, man, you are going to crush it. You're going to have a great month this month. You're going to have a great paycheck this month. And then out of the blue, they dropped the demonetization on her and removed that from her, and she doesn't get any of that money. Because, I mean, that could be in excess of, just looking at it without knowing a lot of other things, that could probably be in excess of maybe $13,000 to $14,000. And it's just gone. It just evaporated. She probably thought she was, and let me just look on Social Blade real quick as well. That's probably what YouTube did to her. They just let her run it up. Say, okay, yeah, we told you to stop. You just gonna keep doing that? Okay, no problem. All right, yep, we'll run that bag up right toward the end of the month, and they say, hey, surprise, and we're gonna go ahead and take that money from you because you over here acting up. And that's what I think happened to her. I have no way of verifying it. I have no way of proving it. It's all just speculation, but that's probably what happened to her. Let me find her channel one more time. Let me see. All right, if you go to Social Blade, yeah, okay, this actually tells me a little bit more. Okay, and then I'm gonna get to our other videos. We got a lot of videos tonight. Okay, this is Social Blade. The last 30 days, last 30 days, she had somewhere in 3.2 million views. That's crazy. 3.2 million views. And remember that day that she had those views taken away, almost a 250,000 removed? 2 days, the day before, she took down 2 videos. I bet you it's probably that video where she was doing the blackface or something crazy like that. And that's what ended up happening. YouTube said, hey, we need you to take these videos down because they're very inappropriate. And she didn't take them down fast enough or whatever of that nature. Let me just look on her channel. Was it Halloween? Nope. Oh, okay. No, okay, this is the last thing. Okay, here's the blackface video.
What's up, folks? Welcome back to the
Okay, this is her video, and it's called "I Am Not Going to Apologize." Wait, where is it? Crackers, what did I just do with it? But this is not the only one. There was a video where she literally was saying something to the degree about Halloween. I have it downloaded, matter of fact. So she took down this video. She took down that video in the blackface. That's what it is. And she put back up the thumbnail saying, I'm not apologizing. That's why YouTube took her money. That's why they did it. Yeah, I mean, that's what are we supposed to do with that? You've been wilding out. What are we supposed to do? Like, why are we supposed to feel sorry for you when you're doing this kind of stuff? You did this to yourself, Lily. Okay. Shout out to Lily Gaddis. You did it to yourself, boo. You did that to yourself. So deal with it accordingly. All right. Let's talk about an interesting topic. When is protest performative? When is your protest just being performative? What is the limit? What is the standard? What is the floor, if you will, for that? That you're against something, but your way of protesting it is literally just making a mockery. Is there a limit to that at all? The reason I bring this up is because in Australia, a senator, please forgive me, in their governmental system has been protesting the Islamification of Australia and has been very vocal about it. Well, one day she decided to come into Parliament wearing a burqa, and everybody lost their minds. Apparently, she's been very vocal, and they've lost their minds. I just think it's very interesting. I don't know where I land on this. So I really want y'all green hearts in the chat when you can hear. I just want to know where y'all land with this. I think this is a super interesting dialogue. So let's go see. Okay, there she is right there. You see her. And it's, let me back up a little. Australian far-right Senator Pauline Hanson has provoked outrage by wearing a burqa to Parliament on Monday. So, like, what makes it, she's protesting against it. Like, I think it's interesting, but let me hear what y'all think. That is hilarious. It is the second time that she had used the headdress worn by some Muslim women as a political prop to push for a ban on the burqa. Right? I don't know. I think this is such an interesting back and forth. Let's go.
Nothing to offer, but the same time.
I know she's showing a lot of leg, though. I'll tell you that much.
Did you just come from Afghanistan? President, a dress code might be a choice of the senators, but racism should not be the choice of the Senate. This is a racist senator displaying blatant racism and Islamophobia, President, and someone should pull her up on that.
Senator Faruqi.
And it is you in the chair. You should be pulling her up on that.
Resume your seat.
What else would...
So in the chat, let me know, what do y'all think? Like, how is that racism? I agree. Like, how's that racism? I don't get it. And I'm not trying to be obtuse. I'm not just trying to be difficult because I want to be difficult. Sometimes I like being difficult. But no, I'm not trying to be difficult. I'm just like, why is that? Okay, let's keep going.
Would I be talking about, Deputy President? Because if this is about the dress code, she is disrespecting a faith.
So I think this is interesting, though. So is there... Okay, what is it? Let me say real quick. Protest is performative when protesters can't articulate why they're protesting. I think the person can. I don't know, but the protest is pure provocation, slapping a Quran with bacon. Okay, I can get with that. Bumps Johnson. I can dig that. I can dig it. Okay, facts, respect.
She is disrespecting the Muslims out
Senator
there, Muslim
Faruqi.
Australians. It's absolutely unconstitutional.
Just
This
to wear
needs
a
to be
burqa?
dealt with immediately before we proceed.
Even just wearing a burqa is disrespecting. What if she wanted to just say, maybe I'm considering converting? So that means that what if a Muslim does something that's predominantly Christian? Or they make a statement, split the baby, or wolves in sheep's clothing, anything of that nature that comes directly from Scripture. Would they be doing the same thing? This is very interesting to me. That's why I want to hear what y'all think. Let's go.
It's disgraceful.
Senator Payman,
It is a
resume
shame.
your seat. Senator
Resume your seat.
Payman, resume your seat.
Have a seat.
Senator Whish-Wilson.
Senator Hanson is using a prop in the Senate, and it's a dangerous prop. Dangerous
Senator
to this country.
Whish-Wilson.
But I ask that you rule on her bringing a prop into the Senate.
Senator-
It is not her normal dress code, Deputy President. It is clearly a prop to make a political statement. If I was to wear...
What if she identified as a Muslim? I mean, y'all allow somebody to say that they're a man. Dragon Lady says, what are they whining about? They've been trying to get us all to wear... I mean, come on. Like, what if she identifies as one? Can you honestly say that she's not? Are you going to gatekeep her now? Are you going to say, hey, let me check your faith? I mean, how does that work? I think this is a very weird conversation. I just found it interesting. Let's go.
A Greens T-shirt in here, or a Fremantle Dockers shirt, or
Senator
whatever, I would get shown the door.
resume your seat. This matter has been ruled on before. Senator Thorpe, resume your seat. Senator Thorpe, resume
Senator
your
Thorpe
seat.
better have a seat
Senator
and stop
Faruqi,
playing.
resume your seat.
Because clearly what has happened today is not a genuine demonstration of faith. In fact, it is the middle finger to people of faith. It is extremely racist and unsafe, and I would like you to reconsider your earlier ruling that it is not appropriate in this Senate to draw attention to a religion that this person does not even subscribe to. It is an insult, and it must be against the standing orders. I would like.
So you can only do things if you subscribe to that religion. Okay. So I guess atheists don't practice Christmas. I mean, atheists got to come to work. That I don't know if that works. This is such a weird topic. Yeah, dear boy, look, y'all are right there. Y'all are in the throes of it. Y'all are in the throes of it for sure. Up there in Dearborn, Michigan. Y'all are right there. Shout out to the Dragon Lady. Praying for y'all.
Like you to review your earlier ruling.
I intend to uphold the ruling of Senator Parry and ask Senator Hanson to remove herself from the chamber and remove the clothing and come back dressed appropriately, or risk suspension, and she certainly will not be heard if she doesn't remove herself from the chamber. Thank you, Senators.
So if she came in there dressed as a priest in a clerical robe, clergy robe, would they be okay with that? Even though she's not a priest and she doesn't practice Catholicism or Orthodox Catholicism or Eastern Orthodoxy, would they be okay with that? I'm just wondering. Like, this is shout out to all. This is such a wild conversation. But let's keep
I am
going.
advised that because we are on a point, Senator Hanson, you will not be heard Senator Hanson, you will not be heard.
You will not be heard.
Senator Hanson, you will not be heard. I've repeated the order that Senator Parry gave, and I understand. Senator Hanson, I'm going to call on the Leader of Government. Yep.
I would ask that we move to the next item of business, President.
Yes. Please suspend till the ringing of the bells.
All right, rock the bells. All right, I just thought that was a very interesting exchange. And I don't really know what the solution is, because I understand what Senator Hanson was trying to do. I totally get it. But it is performative. And it's just kind of like when white people taking a knee, or all the Democrats in the Senate were wearing kente cloth that time. I think Black Lives Matters is performative, in my opinion. So I just think but those are ideological things. This one right here is much more different, because it is, well, Islam is an ideology, but it's also a quote unquote religion, and therein is the rub. So I just thought that would be interesting. I just want to share that with y'all. I'll pass it on to David Woods as well. I would love to hear him and Apostate Prophet talk about it for sure, because let me see real quick. Bumps Johnson, in Canada, it's all Indians. Mocha, Brazilian great journalist up north. He recently reported on the Indian fentanyl trafficking, getting bail in Canada after being arrested for the 18 pounds. Whoa, that's a lot of fentanyl. That's a lot of fentanyl. Great day in the morning. Shout out to Amethyst. Thank you so much for the $20 for this. Find the videos of the mothers stripping at school board meetings to make the point of girls being uncomfortable dressing in front of boys. Meetings were suspended or totally canceled. Got the message from their performance. I can't. I see what you're doing there. I see what you're doing there. I think we do need to bring back a level of, like, we're in a situation where the brake line is cut, the steering is out of whack, and we're just careening down the hill, just going crazy down the hill. We got to get control of the vehicle. The vehicle has lost control, and we don't need to worry about going back up the hill or anything of that nature. We just got to stop the insanity, because that's a great point. Shout out. Thank you so much, Amethyst Angel, for that. Yeah, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Well, I think we need to go back to just some basics, some realities. We have to protect our girls. That should not, why are we fighting about protecting our daughters? Like, that should be almost guaranteed. Everybody is in compliance. Yes and amen, that girls should be safe and have a space where they can be safe. That should just, why is that something new? That just doesn't make any sense at all to me. All right. But thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. Okay. I got a fun one. And this is just pure. Now we're going to clean the palate. We're going to clean the palate. The next two are just meant to clean the palate. All right. I told y'all that I really like body cam footage. It's hilarious to me. It is just a perfect example of how depraved humans can be, and just how wild we can be. We don't take responsibility. Okay. And I don't like drunk body cams, because I don't like field sobriety tests. I don't like those. I'm like, just, you get the person out the car, put them in jail. Let's go. This person could have killed somebody. Put them in jail. However, I found one that was so comical. I'm like, how did we get here? I don't even fully understand how to build up and get you ready for this one. This woman, you know what? Hold on. When you think of drunk body cams, where is the last place you would think you would see a drunk driver bring their car? Where would be the last place you? Well, actually, field sobriety tests. And matter of fact, shout out to the Fit Lawyer Atlanta. I'm going to bring her on one day soon to talk about field sobriety tests. Field sobriety tests are not meant to be tests that you pass. They're actually a collection of data. That's all they're doing. So if you know you're drunk, you're going to take that walk anyway. You just go ahead and say, no, I'm not going to do the field sobriety. I'm not going to do the breathalyzer. Go ahead and take me to jail. They just go ahead and take you to jail. Just go ahead. Because the field sobriety tests only give them more evidence. They see the stagnation in your eyes. They see you slurring. They see you wandering down the road, all that kind of stuff like that. It only is a collection of data. It is not a test. It really should be called field sobriety exercises, not tests. But anyway, just a little side note. I'm going to be bringing the Fit Lawyer ATL on, or I'm going to go on her channel, and we're going to be doing some body cams. Church, yeah, I would hate to see a drunk driver at a church. That's crazy. I actually have seen one though. Police station, a fire station. Those are bad. Those are really bad. Where else? Y'all really don't want these people in church. Y'all do not want these people in church. And that's fair. I don't want them in church either. They need to be in church and get saved, but they don't need to be in church in their drunk vehicle. Y'all, this one right here, I don't think you were ever ready for this one. This one is so funny. Should I tell them? Or just let y'all be surprised? I got to say it. I just got to say it. This is the funniest one I've ever seen. And I've watched a lot of body cam. This one is the funniest one. This woman pulled her car. She's drunk. And it's early in the afternoon. So I don't know if she was day drinking or what. She pulled her car into an airport. It is the craziest thing. I'm just going to bring it up. We're just going to have a good laugh. I'm going to jump in the chat.
September 5th, 2025. Officers in Washington rushed to an airport taxiway after pilots reported a minivan driving on the active runway. Arriving officers found a woman in a Honda Odyssey who claimed she had simply followed her GPS past the security gates. She says it's a navigation error, but her blood alcohol level is about to tell a very different story. Here's what the officers did next.
I told you, you were not ready for this. She drove her van onto an airport. Y'all, I laughed so hard. This thing had me in tears. Oh my gosh. I had 911 ready because I said, I'm going to die laughing here. I was like, just in case I die, they can call 911. This woman, but I'm going to be honest with you. This is probably the easiest arrest you'll ever see. And if you've ever watched body cam, this is the easiest arrest you will ever see. No, this is, you can't imagine, like, I can't imagine what could have happened. Like, that's crazy work. She was on the, let me just be quiet. Let me be quiet. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you like the video.
Thank you. Hi there. Hi. My name's Officer Kid. I have to let you know you're being recorded. Okay. So what's going on?
I just got a little lost coming from Ellie's, the restaurant. I'm not familiar with Arlington area, so I was just trying to get back. And I just got a little lost. I was trying to follow my GPS.
How did you get into the airport?
I don't know. I just followed.
Yeah, did you come through a gate?
I don't know. I just followed the.
Can you
the
turn your
route.
car off for me? Sure. Thank you. And it didn't take you through a gate or anything like that?
I don't think so. I just followed the route that it said to go.
Okay, because that's not realistic, because it would never take you onto a secured airport lot. Because it sounds like
crazy. I can't. This is an airport. That's the question I kept asking. Like, I need to see how she got on this actual airport. I need to see. I need more information. This is the funniest video. It is the lowest stress, but I'm saying low stress, but I would be stressed out if I was a pilot seeing a minivan on the runway. That's crazy work.
when they found you, you were on the taxiway where planes drive and land.
Okay.
Which is a big deal that you were on the taxiway.
Yeah, I didn't mean to. I'm so sorry. I was just trying to get back home.
Okay. Have you had anything to drink today?
I mean, I just had a drink at brunch.
Okay. Do you have keys for the car?
Yes.
Can I snag those from really quick?
Sure.
Shout out to Fat Sophia.
And what time did you get to brunch?
I got there around 10, and I don't know.
Were you there with friends?
Just one friend.
Just one friend. And where did they go? Home?
I think they went to go pick up their child at their school.
Okay, will you hang tight for me for just a second?
Sure.
Thank you. I'm gonna set your keys on the hood of my car. We're actually out kind of near the runway, so you have to come through the gate on the other side.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you right now, this officer, okay, the lady that's drunk and the officer are the perfect team. Because when the man comes, when the male officer comes, he is like, what the world? What is going on here? Like, what? You can tell she got the right police officer. Because if a male had come, this would have been a whole different game. Shout out to Captain Jax for the very kind super. You are correct. She says, be careful when refusing field sobriety tests. In some states, they will add additional charge for refusing field sobriety tests and add another charge for refusal of a breath test or blood test. I agree 100%. I agree 100%. I think field breathalyzers, whatever, just go to the police station, give the blood or give it breath and just call it a game. You're going to go to jail. You're in jail. So just let it go. Once they get you out the car, it's a wrap. So just go ahead and give it up. But I agree with you there. I just think the sobriety test, the, standing on one leg or walking the line, counting backwards, that kind of stuff like that, it doesn't help you. If you toasted, you toasted. Let's go and give it up. You toast. Fast and Furious 2, 2 fifths of whiskey. You out of control. Let's go.
You mind stepping out of the car for me, please? What was your first name? My apologies.
Linda?
Linda. Okay. Thank you. And we're going to walk right back here to my car.
Okay.
That's perfect. Right there. So you can look. There you go. My concern is that you've had something to drink today, that you now are impaired, and you're driving on a secured airport property where planes are taxiing, and now you're putting people at risk of being harmed because you're driving on a taxiway. Is that clear?
Okay.
Okay. Would you want to do some tests for me, make sure you're safe to drive today?
Sure.
Okay. So we're gonna come back here because there's nice lines on the road. Makes our life a little easier. We'll go stand at the end of this yellow line. Do you wear glasses or contacts?
No.
Okay. Have you had any recent head injuries, car accidents?
No.
Okay, perfect. So for this first test, I'm just gonna have you put your feet all the way together, your hands down.
I will never not laugh watching this video and hearing the planes moving around in the background. That I will never stop laughing. I will never not laugh about that. That is the funniest thing. Like, can we just take a moment and just reflect about the fact she's on an airport runway as a drunk driver? Can we just please take a moment to process that? What's in her hair? What do you mean what's in her hair? What's in her hair? I don't know. I think it's just light. I mean, she seemed like a really nice lady. I'm gonna be honest with you. And she was easygoing. Spoiler alert: in Washington State, they let you leave on your own recognizance. So, like, her husband comes and gets her out like 10 minutes after she gets to jail. Spoiler alert.
Your side. Beautiful.
There'll be no profanity.
Can you see my pen?
Yes.
Can you see where my finger meets the pen?
Yes.
All right. So with your eyes and your eyes only, without moving your head, can you follow the pen?
Yes.
Okay. There, you can blink. Sorry. Looks like your eyes are watering. Not trying to blind you. So this next test is called the walk and turn. What I'm going to have you do is plant your left foot on that line. Put your right foot directly in front of it, and your hands down at your side. Beautiful, just like that. So for this test, you're going to take a series of 9 heel-to-toe steps, okay? When you've completed your 9th step, you're going to plant your lead foot and take a series of small steps around that lead foot, and then do the same thing back in the direction that you came. Okay, you may begin.
Okay, now I go back 3.
Just do the test as I instructed. Perfect. Thank you so much.
She's not perfect.
Okay. So for this test, go ahead and put your feet together, hands down your side, just like you're doing. This test is called the one leg stand. So what you're going to do is raise whichever foot you would like, I don't care, approximately 6 inches off the ground, keeping your foot parallel to the ground. You're going to look down and you're going to count aloud. 1001, 1002, 1003, until I tell you to stop. Okay? All right, you may begin when you're ready.
Okay, technically the airport staff got her off of the runway. She's in a parking spot where a plane would park. So she's not truly on the runway per se. In a moment, I think you'll see like there's a plane parked right next to her car, which is crazy work. So she's no longer in harm's way. It's still not going to not be funny that she's literally on a runway or on an airport runway, which is crazy work.
Code Foreign Fields. Keep going until I tell you to stop. All right, you can stop. You're good. Okay, when was your last drink?
I don't know, like 30 minutes ago?
30 minutes ago. Okay, well right now you're going to be under arrest for DUI. Put this head on top of your head, please. Oh no, that hurts. Would you be okay if I, is your watch a stretchy band or is it have a buckle? I don't want it to get hurt. Okay, I don't want to ruin it. But I have the handcuffs, so I'm going to try and take it off here. Oh, this is fancy. Maybe I don't know how to work it. Here, we'll walk over here and I'll figure it out. We're going to go right over here.
There's a plane. Wait, can we take a moment to just process the fact that there's a whole plane right here? Hey, by the way, who is it? N2R7. Is that our Egyptian plane? What's going on here, people? This is hilarious. Wait, you know what this is? She's in Smoky Point Airway. Wait, I'm about 20 minutes away. Are you for real? No way. No way. Are you for real? That has got to be the highest point of comedy. That is hilarious. Okay, well, shout out. Well, I still think this is the best. This has got to be the best.
You want to take a seat on the bumper for me? I'm going to read you something, then I'll try and get your watch. Okay. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in a court of law. You have the right at this time to talk to a lawyer and have him present with you while you are being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you before questioning if you wish. Do you understand each of these rights I've explained to you?
Yes.
Okay. Having those rights in mind, do you wish to speak with me?
No.
Okay. So I want to get that watch off. I don't want it to get ruined by the handcuffs. So if you want to go ahead and turn around, I'll try and mess with it a little bit. See where the... Do you have anything on you? You have any pockets anywhere?
No.
Okay, I'm just going to pat you down. Go ahead and step your feet wide for me. Face the car. There you go.
Shout out to John. John said, I know what this airport is.
Don't keep anything in your bra. Do you have any necklaces on? Just the one necklace. Okay, I'm going to have you hop in the car for me here. Go ahead and hop in on the talk to you in a second.
Can we just take a second and appreciate that there is an entire airport? This woman drove her van on the airport runway. I told y'all. I said this is going to be funny for everyone. What's going on?
I'll ask her. These are her keys. I don't know what she wants. I mean, they're gonna have to tow her car off the.
I'll get Brad to do that. Well, probably her purse, right?
Yeah, let me check with her. Probably her phone too. I'm gonna try. I don't think she has a prior, so if I can release her, that would be great. But I'm gonna talk to her and see what she says. They're in your car. Sorry, I know it's super loud.
That is a horrible, horrible. thing to get started, notion to get started, saying that this woman was a Candace fan. Well, no, technically, hold on. Charlie Kirk had not been killed yet. This is September 5th, 2025. So that is the funniest thing, Ben. No, do not start that rumor. Do not start that.
Want us to grab like your cell phone and stuff for you? Yeah? Do you want us to take your whole purse or just the cell phone?
My purse and my cell phone.
Your purse and cell phone. Okay, I'll grab it for you. She's super DUI.
Really?
Yeah, and how she got out here, I have no clue. I'm gonna try and release her. I don't think she has any priors, so
Okay.
I'm gonna hope and pray that she'll blow.
Do we want to move it?
They're gonna probably tow it, but I'm gonna ask because I'm not driving. She drove out here. She can deal with it. But I guess we'll be up to the airport. If it's gonna be a major inconvenience for them, and she'll let us move it. I'm gonna ask her car, should I tell the airport that they should tow it, or should we see if she'll let us move it?
We should tow it.
Okay.
Yeah. If we just want to tow it. You can let the airport know as well that they can leave it parked there.
I know, as the helicopters try and land.
Yeah.
No, I guess she was on the taxiway, and planes are actively taking off and landing. And then they got behind her with their, airport truck, and she kind of, moved to over here's where they got her stopped. And she did a great one-leg stand, but everything else was just atrocious. So I'm going to see if I'm going to ask her if she'll blow when we get to the PD. And if she says no, then I'm just going to skip it and go to the hospital.
No, you're good.
Will you tow it for me?
Yeah.
Thank you.
To be fair, I like the police officer. The police officer seems real easy like Sunday morning. And though the woman is 1,000% wrong, I mean, you've driven on an airport runway and you're drunk. She's very cool. She's easygoing. I think that's the only reason this has gone so well. Because if she had been acting crazy, screaming and hollering and fighting, not wanting to do the field sobriety, it could have gone really bad. Because again, she's going to get released to her husband. They're going to let her husband come pick her up, and she's going to be gone in time to go pick her kids up from school still. So I think it's only because everybody was cool. She went along with it. She wasn't trying to lie and say, I'm not on an airport runway. How dare you pull me over? Stuff like that. Let's go. This is
Linda, have you ever
work.
been arrested for DUI before?
No.
Have you ever been arrested at all?
No.
Okay, so I want to get you home today. I don't want to take you to jail if I don't have to. We still have to process you for the DUI, okay?
Okay.
But it'll take a lot less time out of both of our days if I don't have to take you to jail, right? And then you get to go home after all this is done, okay? So what we're going to do is I'm going to take you back to the police department. We have the breathalyzer machine, okay? And if you're good to give me the sample, I'm going to read you some stuff, some paperwork, and then we'll do that, and then I can get you home.
Okay.
Okay? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna get you buckled here. You want to lean back if you can, so I don't. Is there someone we can call for you?
I don't think it's necessary.
Okay, totally fine.
You're going to need to call her husband, though.
The other thing is we have to tow your car. It's on airport property. It can't be parked here, so we have to get the car out of here. Okay.
Okay.
So they're gonna tow your car, and we'll get you the paperwork for that.
Okay, I have AAA, so it's fine, or?
No, we have to tow it with the police department.
Okay.
We can't wait for AAA.
AAA is crazy.
But we'll get you the paperwork for it.
I thought she was going to open that door one more time. Girl, you going to stop opening the door?
Give me just a second to get you out of there. Okay. Sorry, it's warm back here. Oh. You can step out for me. Thank you. And we're going to go through this door here. You want to take a seat on that bench for me? Okay, I'm going to take these cuffs off and we're going to put you in these. If you want to face that way, you can scoot to the edge of the bench. Thank you. just a little less uncomfortable than I'm kind of doing right now. And I'll have you scoot that way just a smidge. We just got to put the one on. So I'll take whatever wrist.
Shout out to Captain Jax. You are 1,000% correct. Thank you very much for the very kind $10 super. She says this: most law enforcement contacts go just like this. We only see the worst because they are interesting. You are 100% correct, because the next one is super interesting, and it is nothing like this one. The next one is very much not like this one. It is the, get your popcorn ready type of one. So thank you, Captain Jax. You are right. You're right. You're right. Because I try not to. I wanted to play some body cams. I just don't like them because sometimes they go left and they're cussing at the cop, they're shooting at the cop, craziness, all this kind of stuff like that. So this one, I said, oh, we can watch this one. This one's fun. As fun as can be that there was a drunk woman driving on an airport runway, as fun as that can be, thankfully nothing happened, which, praise God that nothing happened, because that could have gone terrible. Oh my gosh. It did sound like, I thought it was chicken.
Okay, give me just 1 second while I fill some stuff out.
I thought it was just me.
Okay, so I'm gonna go through some paperwork with you. It's all pretty standard stuff, nothing crazy, and then hopefully we can get you home when you're done. And then we're not gonna tow your car, like I said. We're gonna come pick it up for you. That way you don't have to worry about getting it out after this. So, warning, you are under arrest for driving or being in actual physical control of a motor vehicle while under the influence of intoxicating liquor and or drugs. Further, you are now being asked to submit a test of your breath, which consists of 2 separate samples of your breath taken independently to determine alcohol concentration. If your driver's license is suspended or revoked, your commercial driver's license, if any, will be disqualified. Do you need me to read any of that again? Would you like to read it yourself as well? Okay. I'm going to sign my name here saying that I've read the statement to you. And then I'll have you sign that you have had read or read it yourself right there. And you're welcome to read it again if you'd like. Okay, will you now provide a breath sample for me? Do I need to? So like I said, if you refuse to submit a breath test, your driver's license will be revoked or denied for 1 year. If you provide a breath sample, your driver's license will be suspended for 90 days. So it's up to you.
Sure.
Yes? Okay. And then, could you open your mouth for me? Do you have a tongue piercing? Do you use any kind of chewing tobacco, anything like that? Okay, go ahead and open your mouth. Lift your tongue up for me. Just have to make sure you don't have anything in your mouth. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hold this out. You're gonna wrap your lips all the way around the top of the tube, okay? And you're gonna blow long and consistently like you're blowing up a balloon, okay? So big deep breath in, and then blow when you're ready. You gotta blow, you can't make any noise. There you go, keep going. I don't think that worked. So you gotta go, no noise or anything like that, okay? Okay, try one more time for me. There you go, keep going, just like that, that's perfect. If you keep going, we won't have to do it again. So go, 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 go. Keep going, you're so close. Keep going for me, keep going. You can stop. Thank you, that was perfect. Hopefully he likes that one. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna do the same thing that we did last time. This will be our last test as long as we get a good sample, okay? And then we'll work on getting you out of here. So, there you go. Keep going, keep going. You gotta go for a little bit. You're doing great. Keep going. I'll let you know when to stop. Your husband's coming to get the car. Do you think he'd be able to pick you up from the PD to take you home?
Maybe so. It depends on the time we have our kids that come go. They go off on the bus, so.
What time do they get off the bus?
Like 4:20.
Okay. If not, I can always give you a ride home. Okay?
Wait,
What I'm going to do, because I have to do a couple of paperwork things, I'm going to put you in a cell here. Just
I mean, the police is doing Uber now? I did not hear that part the first time.
for you to hang out so I can finish what I'm doing so that we can get you out of here. Okay? So I'm gonna take this off your hand. Okay. I'll have you go in this one in the center here. Beautiful. All right, and I'll be right back with you. Jesus.
You had to call on the Lord.
You can come. You're fine. We're gonna go out this door here. We're gonna walk this way. I'll have you take a seat. You're being released from custody. We're gonna walk around to the front of the PD. Your husband's on his way to come get you. So I just wanted to give you a place to sit that wasn't a jail cell.
I don't know if there's anything else we need to do.
No, sorry. She has all the paperwork. She got the citations. She has a copy of her test results and the DOL DUI hearing request form.
Okay.
So if she does decide she wants a hearing, she can fill that out and send that.
Should I talk to you for a second? Is it possible? Nothing.
What are the test results? I'm just confused because I got lost and I don't know why I'm penalized for getting lost.
That should be your test results on that page right there. Okay.
That's part of it.
We can chat over here if you prefer.
Yeah, but just play it for a second. Yeah, I'm not expecting this to change the situation. I just am trying to understand the context. So
Yeah, so what happened, if you would like to know, we got a call about a vehicle that was driving on the taxiway at the airport.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's a secured lot.
Absolutely. It was on
How
there.
she got in, I have absolutely no idea.
Yeah.
And when I contacted her, slurred speech, typical behavior that we see when somebody's intoxicated. And so she was subsequently arrested for DUI. She performed field sobriety test for us. Obviously didn't provide any issue. She did the breath test and we have the results for that. So she's being cited for the DUI.
Okay, I just think there's a broader mental health thing though, associated with that. Again, make sure medicine or whatever, but I know it's not your problem.
I can have empathy for the situation, and to be completely honest, that's going to be something that you would want to share with the court.
That's kind of what I'm asking, is just like
Yeah.
talk through that situation.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Because
honestly-
we can't obviously.
Yeah, you
our
guys usually do. And I
side of
appreciate the
things.
empathy with holding the thing. I
Yeah.
appreciate all that. I just am trying to, you're as surprised as I am, but I'm just trying to.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, we have to do what we have to do.
Absolutely.
But
Yeah.
the courts should reach out within 2 weeks.
Okay.
I kind of explained to Linda, but I'll let you know too.
Yeah,
If you don't
okay.
hear from them within 2 weeks, I would reach out.
Okay.
It has my information on there. It has
Yeah.
a case number. If you don't hear from anybody,
Yeah.
you can always give me a call. And then my entire report will be completed today.
Sure.
And so if you guys do want a copy of my report as well, body camera and everything.
Yeah, it wouldn't hurt to, well, anyway, I know what you guys do.
You can do a public disclosure. You just do it on the City of Arlington website.
Okay.
So if you do want a copy of any of my report stuff, you can get a copy of that as well.
Okay, all right.
So, but if you feel like you don't have something when you get home that you need, just give me a call.
No, we're gonna just put things into context.
Yeah.
Well, that's our responsibility.
No
Okay,
problem.
Thank you so much.
The suspect was charged with DUI and reckless endangerment. In the state of Washington, DUI, first offense, and reckless endangerment are both gross misdemeanors.
All right. That thing right there had me laughing so hard. I'm like, how are you on a runway? And somebody said it before. Shout out to Monica. Yeah, the police officer was super low-key. I think she was just shocked as well. Here we go here. I think the female officer was just as surprised to see a car on the runway as anybody else, because she was super low-key, like, yo, what in the world am I seeing? So shout out to her, because I do think it could have gone way worse if it had gone, somebody else had gotten there. I can't imagine what I would have done. Like, she just walked up to her like, hey, how are you doing today? And so she stopped her on the side of the road. This scene. Yeah, I mean, that's very, I agree. I think that's super lenient. New Jersey, they don't charge DUIs. I don't know how long they keep you, but they don't charge DUIs either in New Jersey. It's barely a misdemeanor, which is crazy work. I mean, she could have, we don't even need to think about it, but something bad could have really happened with this woman driving her minivan on an airport taxiway runway. That's crazy work. The fact that we have to say that out loud is crazy. But, praise God, nothing happened. Praise the Lord, nothing happened. But anything could have happened, and that's terrible. So Okay, a couple of a couple of months ago, we watched a video of a young woman, and I did a whole video. I don't know why it was so intriguing to me. She was in her apartment, and the main street out of her apartment, there was a farmer's market, a county fair or something like that. So the street was blocked. Basically, you're not gonna be able to move that car out of that parking lot. And we looked at it, and it was the craziest video where the young lady, she removed the security tape and drove down the street. And of course, but the video stopped. The news clipping stopped right there, right after the police stopped her. And you didn't see anything else after that. You just heard that she had been arrested. By the way, she's still in jail for that, by the way. You didn't get anything else about it, right? Well, the body cam has come out. And y'all, this is crazy work. So I'm going to tell y'all right now, go ahead and grab your popcorn. Go ahead and get cuddled up. This is crazy. This is a wild video. So it's a young lady in Alexandria, Virginia. She is trying to go to work, allegedly. And she wasn't dressed like she was trying to go to work, so I don't really know why she was saying she was going to work, but whatever. So she's trying to go to work, allegedly. And this goes as bad as you can imagine. So there's a little bit of recap so you can kind of see from the first police officer's body cam what was going on when he was telling her, ma'am, you're going to have to catch an Uber. Ma'am, you're going to have to just walk or something like that. And she removes the security tape and she drives her BMW down the road of the fair, of the market. So, I mean, there's kids, there's elders, all that kind of stuff like that. It is the craziest story. Tonight, we're just watching crazy stories. Oh, and by the way, after this, we will do a little bit of a candy update. So just stay tuned. All right, this one is fun, though. Let's do this. Let's do it like this. All right, let's get it in. Shout out to the best live chat on the internet. If you could,
10th, 2020.
Green hearts in the chat when you can hear.
On May 10th, 2025, a city celebration was underway when a woman made a reckless decision that put dozens of lives at risk.
I apologize, but I do need to go. So, can I move this?
No. I mean, there's a straight fair. Like, there's a fair. Nobody's driving on the street. There's tents and all that kind of stuff, tables in the street. She's got to go to work. I just want y'all to remember that.
The road's closed now.
But that's what I'm saying. And all these residents, there's only one way out.
I understand, but it was advertised.
Yeah, so they told me to move my car in here.
Right, but the road is closed and we can't let people out, okay?
Okay, so like I said, I apologize, but I'm not going to move this.
No, you can't. You can't move the cones. The road's closed. 10 starting units at the Petoskey Place. I apologize for the inconvenience. I'll be happy to call you a taxi.
There has to be another way. I'm not taking a taxi all the way to Virginia. I work in Virginia.
I understand. And I apologize for the inconvenience. But unfortunately,
I don't have to come back. I just need to get out. I need to get out. I need to get out. Like, is there any way you can call somebody to, like...
I can't. Unfortunately, there's several people that I've had to say that can't come out. But this is just one of those times where I can't let you out. Check with the fire rescue down there. They'll probably be able to help you.
I'm not trying to be against nobody's law, but I gotta go. So,
I understand. I can't have you do that.
But I gotta
Stop. Stop. You cannot move this. I'm telling you right now.
Oh, I gotta go to work. What do you want me to do? Like, I have to go to work.
You cannot get out. I can't help you with that. Please do not disturb this area.
I might have to.
Ma'am.
I'm so sorry.
You're going to be placed under arrest. 10 of a vehicle trying to run through the roadblock. It's 2 George Lincoln 4626. Stop! Stop your car. Stop!
Excuse me.
Stop!
Excuse me, y'all. What's it?
10, there's a lady running down the street now in a BMW. Stop! We're at 6 now. Stop!
All right, and this is where the newscast stopped originally. When we first watched it, like back in April, this is where the newscast stopped. It gets so wild. And I'm just going to tell you right now, the language is definitely not kid friendly. I'm just going to tell you that ahead of time right now, because the young lady's mouth gets real reckless. I do understand, because she's still in jail right now because of this. She's not been released on any kind of bail, waiting for her case to be heard. Okay, let's go.
Stop! Get out of the car. Get out of the car. Get out of the car. Okay. You're under arrest.
Okay, okay. Damn it. Okay, I'm just trying to get the word. I didn't even get the word.
Oh, you're not getting it today.
I'm trying.
Form a wall. We got cameras. Form a wall, please.
Okay, at least
10-1 in custody.
Fuck. All right, y'all got report. I'm just trying to get to work. I live in these apartments
10,
and
get
there's
us
no
a
other way
transport
out.
to 6 and PG.
Keely's going back. Call my mom!
Here.
Oh, my mom is crazy.
Bro, okay, okay.
Relax.
It's crazy.
Relax. Okay.
Stop.
Just stay here. 10 to Adam 5, secure that vehicle.
Oh, I'm tired of living here. Is it every time I have to leave? Never get out. Okay. Touch me another way. Can you like this? Move your arm. Move your arm!
Stop!
Bro!
Everything's on camera.
I
Stop.
don't care. This is uncomfortable. And my mom is right there. She can call her.
You're under arrest. Sit. Turn around, sit on the wall. Sit.
Okay, you can stop touching me.
Sit on the wall.
So, can I call my mom?
Do you have any injuries?
What?
Do you have any injuries?
No.
Okay. Stop. Just sit on the wall.
I just need to go to fucking work. Like, that's
Well, you're under arrest. So stop.
Bro, where's my phone? Just call my mom. Oh, so you can get my car right? So let me go. Let me go.
Okay. This is some nasty work. So this young lady, I just looked it up. She's still in jail. This happened as of May 2025. She's still in jail. There's no evidence that she's been released. So this shenanigans got her locked up in jail since April. So she's been in jail for almost 11 months. I'm sorry, 7 months. That's crazy. And she is not, according to, yeah, I don't see anything that says that she's been released. So she's still in jail. So she want to see her mom. Yeah, you gonna see your mom, all right.
Let me go. I'm just trying to go to work, bro.
Stop. Relax.
No. Stop.
I don't know what you work as. There's a lot of jokes that can be had right here.
Bro, give
not
me
gonna say
up. I'm just trying to go to work. I'm literally, all I'm trying to do is go to work.
You're not going to work now.
Okay, well, can you get off of me?
Are you gonna stop and sit?
I'm trying.
Sit. You may
What?
sit.
up.
You may not stand
So
up. You
get
may
off
sit.
me, God.
So you can sit. Just sit. You're not going anywhere. You're under arrest.
Pay how much to get out? Because I got to go to work.
Baby, that's not gonna happen today.
And who got my phone?
We don't know.
Can you call my mom? She's literally in the apartment right
We are
there.
not bothering your mama.
No.
Your mama don't want.
Who's going to hit nobody?
You almost hit 25 people coming out of that
Almost
street.
is a hit.
All you had to
You
do
hit
was
the
listen
sergeant.
to me,
I
and
did
you
not
could
hit
have
him.
left. Instead, you bumped me with your car and then drove down the street and almost hit 16, 15 people. What is wrong with you?
I'm trying to get to work.
Okay, we said you couldn't drive. You could have taken an Uber, but no, you wanted to drive your car out in the middle of the street.
And I told you my circumstances, so
Your circumstances don't justify your behavior.
see what I did wrong. But
That's crazy. Well, maybe a judge can make reason with you.
okay, all right. Can you take me out these cuffs? They're uncomfortable.
You're under arrest. You're going to jail.
Okay, stop touching me. Just get off me then. Just stop
Then
touching
sit
me.
and stop
Okay,
trying to
get off of me.
I'm not getting off of you.
I'm not about to do nothing.
Based on your behavior, I don't trust the words coming out of your mouth.
Gosh. All right. Stop doing it. Like
We'll
what?
call you guys to the station if you need anything.
Who's saying? Fuck.
Patrol unit coming for transport.
Damn.
This is a planned thing. Her male counterpart asked if she could get out. Officer Kadiri gave them an option that he would escort them. That was like over an hour ago to get them out of 7th Street. They didn't come out to do it at that time, and she just did all this. So, are you good? Yeah. She just pushed me out of the way of the car. That's all. This is that car.
What, from last night?
So you guys have prior interaction? Not with her. Not with her. The male half.
Male half came to me asking her to get out, so I told her, "Why don't you can go and tell her if she comes out right now, we can get her car out of there before Main Street fills up."
Nobody told me that.
Post. That was 2.5 hours ago.
I was gonna break the window out. I thought she had the door locked, and as soon as you got it, I was just.
All right, now for a can you call my mom?
No. You're an adult. How old are you?
It's not about the age, it's about where she's at. She's right there. Like,
What's the date of birth here? 96. Okay. Yeah, you're an adult.
I never said I wasn't. I'm just saying she's right there. Like, literally right there.
Okay. You're an adult.
Okay.
Stay there. Don't pull away. Don't pull away. We don't need any more of this.
You're fine.
Just be gentle. That's all I'm asking.
I gotta ride back with you. If you have space. I'm not riding in the back. Well, I guess I can. It's a half cage. Do you have anything in your pockets? Hang on.
Instead of being late to work, she ended up being on time for jail. And after putting countless lives at risk, she now faces the consequences of her own reckless choices. Should someone with this mindset even keep their driver's license? Comment your thoughts, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss one of our weekly uploads.
I don't know about losing her license like indefinitely, but definitely, 3 or 4 year suspension of it for sure. And being the fact that apparently the judge didn't like it either, because if you do a quick little Google search, she's still in jail right now. 28-year-old woman. Let me just real quick bring this in. She's still in jail right now. So apparently the judge was having none of this at all. So real quick, And then we got a little bit of candy talk. Y'all. I know. Can't go too long without talking about candy. I know y'all like talking about candy. All right, let's do this. All right, let's see. All right, the incident involving the 28-year-old woman named Kai. She allegedly attempted to drive her car through the barricades at a street festival, the Laurel Street Festival in Maryland on May 2025, despite warnings from the police, according to the charging documents and body cam footage. When the police officer stood in front of her vehicle to prevent her from exiting, she pushed on it with her car, reportedly nudging the officer and driving into a crowd of festival goers. Although attendees repeatedly scrambled as she drove through, no injuries were immediately reported. She has been charged with multiple misdemeanors, including second-degree assault on an officer, resulting in arrest, reckless endangerment, and disorderly conduct. She is currently out. Oh, no, it does say she's out. I'm sorry. Okay, wait, she's out on bond. Okay, so she got out. Okay, let me double check that real quick. Okay, because what I saw earlier said she had not been out. She wasn't out. I got to go to work. It's crazy. Let me get down here to the bottom. She eventually stopped. Okay, here it is. No one was injured in the incident. DeBerry Bostic, who has been out on bond, will go on trial in Prince George County District Court in Hyattsville. She faces 6 misdemeanors, including second-degree assault, resisting arrest, reckless endangerment, and disorderly conduct. Okay, so she did get out, okay, apparently. All right, shout out. This story is crazy work. That's wild. All right, y'all are wild, man. Y'all, okay, let's with no further ado, let's talk about this Candace foolishness. All right, I got 2 clips, or two pictures I want to talk about. So 2 clips from the X, formerly known as Twitter. So let's do that. Thank y'all so much. By the way, thank you so much to my stream sponsor. I think we got a co-sponsor today. We got a co-sponsor. We got Amethyst Angel and Captain Jax sponsor the stream. Thank y'all both very much for the very kind and extremely gracious super chats. Thank y'all very much. I'll need to make sure I put you in the stream banner as well. Okay. I want to talk about this one right here. And y'all, I think Candace Owens is adorable. I think she is hilarious because the crash out on X is going to be studied by science. You know, if the Lord tarries and human society lasts another 20, 30, 50 years, they will come back and look at 2025 and study the shenanigans that we allowed to happen on social media. What are you talking about, Jason? Let's bring this in. So Candace called herself putting out the Pastor Challenge yesterday. She says, tomorrow is Sunday. I challenge you to get through an entire sermon, quotation marks, without mentioning me or Tucker Carlson. And so somebody, I don't know who this person is. Shout out to this person. He seems very astute and he probably has a nice beard. He says, I will one up you on that challenge. I can show several years of faithful biblical preaching that honors Christ and makes much of his wonderful sacrifice to save sinners that never addresses you, Candace. Shout out to this person. Shout out, what is this? The J Whip podcast. Shout out to them. This woman is unmatched. Unmatched. Shout out. What is it? Is this my brother from another? Yes, it is. It's Virgil Walker. Shout out to Virgil. Says this, my guy. You do your thing, bro. Keep inspiring. We've got to connect soon. Shout out to Virgil. Virgil is an excellent supporter of this channel. He has been a friend of mine for many years. Shout out. Thank you very much, Virgil, for the very kind super right there. And yes, we will catch up for sure. Because Virgil didn't answer the phone last time I called. But y'all, we're gonna be gracious to Virgil. He's busy. Let me ask y'all real quick. For real. If you are a person of faith, a Christian that goes to church on Sunday, I'll even let you go on Saturdays. You go to Bible study and any extra church. How often, just in the chat, I just need the number, how often does your pastor mention Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens? I'll even throw Israel in there too, just for laughs and giggles. How often does that happen in your church? Not with the pastor's comments again. Never? Come on, never. Virgil, never. Come on, man. They don't talk about Tucker? Oh, got the 0. Never? Rarely. And now I will say, I shouldn't have thrown Israel in there because somebody might, they might be mentioning Israel in part of the passage. So I'll give you that. I shouldn't have put that one in there. Very occasionally, Old Testament Israel. Okay, see, there we go. That's what I'm thinking. Never, ever. Never. My pastor preached a sermon about Advent. Not one mention of any political commentators. And I'm going to go out here. That was a shot at John Amachuku. Okay, now I got John Amachuku's sermon right here. We can do that too. I can do that as well. Y'all gonna let me know if y'all want to watch it. We'll check it out. So this is where I land with this. I don't know whatever you want to call me. I really believe that when your pastor is behind that pulpit or the rostret or the the music stand, if he's there in that sacred box, he should be preaching what thus saith the Lord. And he should be preaching it with fear and trembling. And now during fellowship hour or during Sunday school, or maybe when y'all meet at Golden Corral, your pastor can talk about whatever he wants to talk about. I don't even care. But when he's in that sacred box, he should be talking about what thus saith the Lord. It should not be baptized CNN. It should not be spiritualized Fox News. Okay? It should not be that, because that's not the place and the position of it. Now, I do understand there are pastors that are very faithful that every now and then they throw a little color commentary about what's going on in the world. And, sometimes that makes me bristle, but I realize that I'm not going to be dogmatic about it. However, I do believe, I feel right about it, that when you're in that sacred box, you should be talking about what thus saith the Lord. And I'm going to tell you right now, unless you're talking about Candace Owens needs to repent and turn and look to Christ, unless you're telling Tucker Carlson, repent and look to Christ, they don't need to be mentioned. Why do they need to get mentioned? For what? None whatsoever. So there are people that, again, I'm not the biggest fan of it. But I understand that if it's a one-off type of situation, I don't think the world's going to come to an end. But if it's every Sunday, all you're doing is talking about color commentary and giving what's going on and basically spiritualized CNN, then you're not doing your job correctly. You're just not. That's not the duty or responsibility of a pastor, to sit and give us basically baptized, spiritualized what's going on CNN. That's just not it. That's not appropriate. And I feel comfortable in that. Again, a passing glance, maybe, if something happens. This is what and again, this is Jason. I'm not saying that I'm right, because Virgil is a pastor. And there are other persons here that maybe disagree with me or maybe see it a different way. If I take your sermon from 4 years ago, right during the height of the 2020 Summer of Love, if I take your pastor's sermon, if I can bring it into 2025 and people not know that this sermon happened back in 2020, I think that's a good thing. It shouldn't be time-stamped. It should have no timestamps on it. It should be able to pull this sermon out from today and rewind time and drop it back 4 years ago, and people should be able to listen to it. Okay, cool, great, all right, praise God, I'm learning something from it. It should not be, Virgil agrees with me. Oh, all right, good. I just want to make sure, because, Virgil, I want Virgil to come get me now. So that's my rule. And again, my pastor has skipped over election commentary, even elections that happen here in Georgia, even elections that happen in our own city. He skipped over a lot of things. Now, during the pastoral prayer, he prayed for our pastor. I mean, he prays for our president. He prayed for Joe Biden. He prayed for Kamala Harris. He prayed for our all those people like that during the pastoral prayer. But during the sermon, if I dropped today's sermon on you, you wouldn't know if it happened 4 years ago or 4 minutes ago. And I think that's the right thing to do. That's just my take on it. I'm not saying it is wrong if you do give color commentary about what's going on. I just think that it does put you in a trick bag, and it does put you in a position where you might say something wrong. That's just my little 2 cents. But so that's where I've always stood as relates to the role and position of pastors in the sacred box. Again, once you get in the parking lot, once you're going to get you over at the coffee stand, getting you a donut, talk about whatever you want to talk about. Once you're in that sacred box, what thus saith the Lord, and that's it. That's my little 2 cents on that. But I see it looks like most of y'all agree with me, and I think that's fine. Again, yeah, see, this is the problem. If I am a dyed-in-the-wool Democrat, I mean, I'm dyed-in-the-wool Democrat. If I come to your church, and let's say, but I'm not saved, I'm not in Christ, I don't know Jesus at all, are you putting a stumbling block in front of me by making MAGA church? And let's flip it around. If I'm dyed-in-the-wool MAGA and I go to your church, I don't know Christ, I am not saved. I'm going to bust hell wide open. Are you putting a stumbling block in front of me by making your church about something that's not about the gospel? That's my push on that. And this is exactly what happens when you make a political church. And again, I'm not saying that you can't have, and hear what I'm saying. I'm not saying that you can't have political viewpoints. Hey, you might even want to talk about politics during Sunday school or evening adult Bible study. You're talking about how to look at how to review party platforms. Okay. I don't necessarily think that's the best use of time, but okay, fine. But that sacred box, that 45 minutes on Sunday morning, leave that alone. That's God's time to speak. And then you can do that stuff during the coffee hour, during fellowship hour. We're going to duke it out. But then we're going to put our dukes away, and we're going to hear what thus saith the Lord. That's me. That's where I stand with that. But I appreciate y'all for sure. Let me see what we got. Now let me get my next little clip up here, because y'all been wanting it. Y'all, why do y'all want it? Why do y'all even want to hear about Candace? Y'all I got this picture so much today. I'm like, I thought I was being tricked. I thought I was being punked, really. Because I got it so many times. I probably got it 5 times, if not 6. And that's crazy work. Like, why are y'all sending me this picture? Jason, what picture are you talking about, man? What are you talking about? This picture right here. All right. So I just want to know, at what point are we going to say that Candace Owens is just outright playing in people's faces? Now, I'm not 1,000% certain. I believe that this happened recently. The picture has been floating around the internet, and it said that it happened in Dollywood this past week. Okay, and I'm going to take it at face value. If it did happen then, I do think it's pretty telling. Because remember, Candace didn't do a show all this week because, she's in fear for her life and blah, 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 blah. But following this right here, it says, my daughter's best friend went to Tennessee for Thanksgiving. They spent yesterday at Dollywood. Guess who she ran into? Yep, Candace Owens. Out in the open, in a public place, amongst claimed assassination attempts, make it make sense. And yes, this photo is from yesterday. And I've heard also that there was no security. So I'm just wondering, when are the Candies going to get tired of this? What is it going to take for the Candies to say, you know what? I've had enough of this. You're not giving me evidence. You're doing this trust me, bro thing. Trust me, bro. These people are, out to get me. Trust me, bro. But you're not giving me any evidence. And now I see you out here in Dollywood, yucking it up with the hoi polloi, the great unwashed. You out here with them. At what point are the Candies going to get upset with this? Are they going to say, we've had enough of this? Because we on this side that take Candy with a grain of salt, we don't care. We've been saying this for the longest, that she's a sham. So what is it going to take for the Candies to say, Yeah, this one is a little lap too far. You over talking about why is it that you did not spend last week showing us the evidence that this assassination attempt? And I put this out there on X. I said it the other day on my live stream as well. The proof that Candace is completely full of hot air as it relates to this whole assassination plot is the fact that her lawyers have not filed an emergency injunction with the court because, remember, the Macrons are suing Candace. That was just a civil case. Now she's accusing them of a high crime. She's accusing them of attempted deletion. Her lawyers have not filed any emergency injunctions or anything like that. That's how you know she's playing in your faces. So if you're Candy, she's playing in your face. She's doing this. That's not the, what is it? These are not the droids you're looking for. She's doing the Obi-Wan Kenobi on you. The fact that her attorneys are not filing an emergency injunction and raising Cain about the fact that the people that are suing our client have now put out an international hit on our client, $1.5 million and such like that. Her attorneys should be able to see that. And the fact that her attorneys have not seen that information, and we've heard nothing from any credible source apart from Candace and Candace sycophants, is enough to tell you right now, Candice, she's playing in your face. She's playing in your face. She knows that you're going to go hard in the paint for her. I'm sorry, I'm trying to read something. Real quick. I agree. But then Candice has put them in a position to address what she's accusing them. Although pastors, okay, you're talking about pastors. I'm going to pull up John Amachuku. We're going to let John Amachuku explain that as well. But I just want to finish this up because I just want to get this off my chest. I talked about this last night. I'll talk about it again today. Who knows? I'm going to talk about it again tomorrow. The fact that Candace has not shown you any evidence, anything hard evidence, nothing, should be enough to tell you she's playing in our faces. Because following this logic, then nobody would, if I said, hey, y'all, Candace Owens came knocking on my door and threatened to step on my my crusty pinky toe and throw gerbils at me. And then she ran away and jumped into a beet-colored Mazda and shot away. Trust me, bro. That's a crazy story, first of all. This sounds insane. I was trying to make that up. I might have to redo that one. But would you want evidence? You'd say, well, where's the Ring cameras? Your neighbors all have Ring cameras. Can we see that? Where's the evidence that she came knocking at your door? Show us something, Jason. Show us proof. That's what you would say if I said something as crazy as what I just said. Why are you not asking for Candace to do the exact same thing? Why? Why are you trusting her and these people out here raising Cain and Hades all over Twitter, talking about this, that, and the third, when you have no proof? I'm going to start putting out stories saying Candace came knocking at my door selling Girl Scout cookies. And they was 3-year-old Girl Scout cookies, selling bootleg Girl Scout cookies. That's what I'm going to start doing. And then I'm going to be like, trust me, bro. Trust me. Trust me. Because that's the exact same thing. She's giving you no evidence. None whatsoever. You would expect, if I said that, you would expect me to give you evidence. Why are y'all not asking the same thing from Candace? Why are you not? You don't have to, again, you're not saying that the person is a liar. You're just saying, let me see the evidence that this happened. Show me the evidence, Jason, that she ran through your front yard, that you've been trying to get that grass all green so you can be, front yard of the year in your HOA. She drove a dirt bike through there and tore up your front yard, Jason. Show us the proof that she did that. I'm going to say that she did it. Trust me, she did it. She tore up my yard. That's why I can't get front yard of the year, because Candace ran through my front yard and sprinkled lye all over my front yard and ruined my grass. It sounds crazy, but so does what she's saying. But watch this. If I showed you evidence to that fact, it would change the deal, right? So it wouldn't sound as crazy because, like, well, Jason does have evidence. He's got the Ring cameras. He found her at the gas station, gassing up her motorcycle, buying the stuff at Home Depot. He's got her. Y'all would say, hey, okay, it sounds crazy, but Jason got proof. Why are y'all not asking for proof from Candace? Why? Just why? That's it. Leave my grass alone, too, by the way. Imagine claiming the Macron sent an elite hit squad after you and then popping up in Dollywood. Oh, Ruben is coming in with the killer. Like the witness protection program accidentally books you into a thing. That's as funny as that woman in the parking lot. That woman on the airplane. Make it make sense. I mean, come on. I mean, make this make sense. I mean, fine. Okay, Ruben. You can call Ruben whatever you want to call him, but explain this then. Explain this part. This thing right here. Wait, explain this right here. Explain that. If Ruben is bad for saying what he said, explain this. What are we looking at? What is that? Shout out to Ruben. That's hilarious, and it's true. He comes in with the best. He doesn't post a whole lot, but when he does post, he does bring the noise. I love it. Thank you, sir. Because she will dox her followers if they question her. Maybe they should stop following her, man. Nobody in the best live chat on the internet, and I have people's phone numbers. They have my phone number. Nobody in the best live chat on the internet is worried that I'm going to dox them. Well, I've disagreed with people who no longer follow me now. They do not have to worry about me going that far. I've had very, very public disagreements with people. I'm not putting their information out there, though. Like, that's crazy work, man. That's crazy. I got people in my live chat who've been to my house, who know my family and my children. They don't have to worry like, oh, Jason's going to dox me if I disagree with him. If I don't show up in his live stream, Jason's going to go crazy. He's going to... No, I don't do that because I'm a Christian. Christians don't behave like that. We just don't. We just don't. That's just not the way to behave. It's just not right. What in the world, man? How do I get the green hearts? Shout out. It's just if you're on Android or Apple, you can pull up your emojis, type in green hearts, and you can put in a green heart. If you're on a desktop, there's the best way I found is called Get Emoji. It's a website called Get Emoji. Let me find it real quick and drop it in the link in the chat. And you can get all the emojis you want and cut and paste them and just drop them in here. It's getemoji.com. That's a great question, by the way. Thank you so much. All right. Shout out to the new subscribers, new people up in the building. So if you can go there, if you're on your desktop or laptop, you can go to Get Emoji. You can just cut and paste it and drop it in. And then, of course, if you're on your Android or iPhone, you can do the same thing right there. This one explained it out. In the chat box, you see the little smiley face. Tap on it, and emojis will pop up. There you go. I'm on my desktop, and I'm in StreamYard, so it doesn't look the exact same way. You ain't got no more. You ain't got any more good ones. Okay. Well, here's another one. I'm fully expecting Monday's episode to open with, due to the international assassination plot against me, I've taken refuge behind the bulletproof Home Depot plexiglass. And I said this yesterday. I said this yesterday on yesterday's show. Here, let me get John Amachuku ready because y'all gonna keep having me talk about this craziness. So I'm gonna say one thing, and then I'm gonna introduce what John Amachuku is gonna say. All right. Got it ready. I personally don't think she's going to go on live tomorrow. I don't think she is. And my reasoning for this, reason why, let me give you the trial document. I got it right here. All right. I have a folder called the Candy Files, the Candyland Files. All right. I'm going to just drop the link in here if the mods have not already done it. Okay, so here's the link right there. And all of the files related to the Macron case, as well as any lawsuit and Tyler Robinson, and any lawsuit suing Candace Owens or Candace Owens suing somebody. I just dropped it in here for you right there. I did it. Right. There it is. All right, so there it is right there. Jason, you are a rookie, man. I done dropped the get emoji link again. I'm telling you, man, we're this is how you know. This is a single run program over here, man. We make mistakes. So I'm looking at the docket and nothing has been updated. And that's why I'm like, that's how you know. It's been almost, 2 weeks since allegedly the Macrons put out an international hit on her. By the way, I'm not in my international assassin. I'm taking a day off. You know, assassins wear maroon. And so I don't have my maroon on today. I could get a maroon hat. I got a maroon hat over there. But I'm just taking the day off. I just want to chill. You know, it's the Lord's Day. I don't do assassin work on the Lord's Day. But in this filing right here, let me pull it up just so you can see. The last thing that they've added to this file was back on the docket, was back in the 30th of October. So they literally have skipped all of November. Let me pull this in. Thank you so much for that. All right. So here's the docket right here. And there's nothing about, by the way, the Macrons put out an international hit on my client. We're running for our lives. We're in witness protection at Dollywood. Nothing like that. Not a thing. So that's it. All right, let's do this. If you remember, this week, John Amachuku, a little clip on X popped up of John Amachuku talking about Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson and they're evil and vile. It was like a minute, 30 seconds long, 90 seconds. And it was really just, and of course, people are losing their minds. This is these Zionist pastors, blah, 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 blah. And I said, hey, man, and John Amachuku, man, he's a real one. So he leaned in on it. He said, you know what, I'm about to drop the whole video so y'all can watch it yourselves. Shout out to him because he knows he's going to get that gospel out there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull it in. I have not watched it. So we're going to watch it together. So I'm going to pull it in and I'm going to let John tease it out and explain what it is. And you can see here the whole thing, not just the 90 seconds that were floating around on Twitter and everywhere else. So real quick.
Make this plain tonight as well that Jesus was a Jew.
Okay. I'm going to make sure the volume is not very loud. Hopefully, I'll make sure I'm quiet. If you could, please, green hearts in the chat when you can hear. What? Wait, hold on. No, how are you telling people that? Come on, Captain Jax. You can't be giving. Come on, my guy. Said, I'm pretty sure I saw you at the 2025 National Assassins Conference in Norham, Oklahoma yesterday. Why did you? Come on, don't be giving up my location. Don't be dropping my pin on me like that. Come on. Good gracious. Don't be telling people where I'm at. I'm out there in these streets, man. They don't need to know that. Let's go. Did I do a maroon shirt giveaway? Oh, no. I did the maroon shirt. Yeah, I had it on yesterday. Absolutely. Okay, let's stop. We have to stay focused, people. We must stay focused. All right, here it comes. Green hearts in the chat when you can hear.
Let me make this plain tonight as well that Jesus was a Jew. So contrary to what Candace Owens is saying, who's spending her time trying to tear down the legacy of Charlie Kirk, fighting against Erica Kirk, his wife, I mean, you have to be cruel and demonic to insinuate the things that she has insinuated over the past several weeks. She's evil. And at some point, her husband is going to have to walk into that podcast room and start unplugging cords. I mean, by now, I would have already done it if it was my wife. It's a joy to be at Motion Church tonight. I have been up for a little while. I left North Carolina early this morning. I got up around 3 a.m. and took a flight all the way over here to the Pacific Northwest. And I'm taking a red eye back tonight at around 11 o'clock. So y'all pray for me as I travel back home because I'm going to be sleeping on the plane. And I just, I could have taken a trip out tomorrow night, but or during the day. But man, I have this family that I just love to be around. I can't speak for any other husband, any other person, but I love my wife. I love my 3 children, and I just got to get back to my bed, get back to her arms, and get back home. Amen, somebody. And so I honor my wife on tonight, who has given birth to all 3 of our children. And I say it that way intentionally, because we live in a day and a time where people think that men can get pregnant. And they can. We are starting to confuse a man's beer gut with a man's ability to bring forth a child. And every man who thinks that he can get pregnant, that has witnessed what a woman goes through in a delivery room, you are a fool. I was in that room every time my wife pushed out all 3 of our children. I never left out saying, yeah, I can do that too. Matter of fact, I left out saying, what manner of woman is this that even the seas obey? This lady can walk on water. And I left out saying, man, I'm going to honor her, reverence her, provide for her, be there to support and to help any men in here feel the same way. And so we reject the mindset of the woke culture that's spreading these lies. Come with me tonight to John chapter 20. And I'll pick it up at the 19th verse and read down to verse 23. It reads, then the same day at evening, being the first day of the week, when the doors were shut, where the disciples were assembled for fear of the Jews, came Jesus and stood in the midst, and said unto them, peace be unto you. Somebody shout, peace. And when he had so said, he showed unto them his hands and his side. Somebody shout, proof. Then were the disciples glad when they saw the Lord. Then said Jesus to them again, peace be unto you. As my Father hath sent me, even so I send you. And when he had said this, he breathed on them and said unto them, receive ye the Holy Ghost. Whosoever sins ye remit, they are remitted unto them. And whosoever sins is retained, they are retained. I want to preach a message tonight entitled Peace, Proof, and Power. If there's anything that we need in these last and evil days as we contend with the onslaught of pressure that's coming against the Christian church, we're going to need the peace of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. We're going to need the proof. We have to know for ourselves that he is real. And then along with that, we're also going to need his power. In the early 1900s.
Okay, I'm going to stop for a hot second right here. John Amachuku has been speaking for better part of 4 minutes, and he has very rarely... Candace is being used by God. Candace is being used by God to attack real Christians so that people will go and listen to the real Christians and realize that they've been hoodwinked and bamboozled by Candace. That's why Candace attacked Allie Beth. That's why Candace attacked John Amachuku. That's why Candace keeps attacking TPUSA, Faith, and such of that nature. Not saying every pastor in that group is upright and standing, but she's putting the target on people so they go listen, and then look what they get. They get this. Let's go. The peace, the proof, and the power. Shout out to John.
A wicked woman by the name of Alice Bailey, who is known for being the prophetess of the New Age movement. She received a spirit from a demonic medium by the name of Dewal Cool that gave her esoteric knowledge and her ability to be for the lack of better words, a witch. She was able to channel energy and know things beyond her scope of influence. She's also one of the original writers for the Luciferian Trust. And if you know anything about that outfit, it was an outfit that was steeped in Satanology. This wicked woman put together what is called a 10-point plan on how she would deconstruct Western civilization. And the first thing that she wanted to do was to take God and prayer out of the education system. And we saw that took place in 1962 with the Ingle v. Vitale court case. A wicked woman by the name of Madeline Murray O'Hare used her son William to condemn school-sponsored prayer and to have the Supreme Court remove school-sponsored prayer from public schools. And the Supreme Court voted 8-1 to remove school-sponsored prayer. And during that time frame, the church was silent. And they're silent even today. Do you not know that during that time frame, 0 Christian organizations came forward to raise a brief to stop her? The church was silent then, and the church is still silent today. And former Secretary of Education William Bennett revealed in his cultural indexes that between 1960 and 1990, as a result of school-sponsored prayer being removed, divorce doubled, teenage pregnancy went up 200%, teen suicide increased by 300%, and violent crime went up by 500%. And William Bennett purports that this is because of the removal of school-sponsored prayer. Number 2, Alice Bailey said, reduce parental authority over children. You know, today that we have many districts in America where kids can go to school and be sexually assaulted mentally because of the content that's placed at their fingertips in their libraries. We have some children who go to school and they go through different mindsets of gender dysphoria and gender confusion solely because the school system is pushing this upon them because of the false ideologies of inclusion. We even have some school districts where kids can go to school and get information on how to have an abortion. And you know that Planned Parenthood provides the majority of sex ed curriculum to schools in America. We are in a battle today with parental authority. But let me make this plain that we do not co-parent with the government. The government is not daddy, and the government isn't mama. Children are on loan from God to their parents. And the parents are responsible for training up their children in the way that they should go, and when they're old, they will not depart from it. Number 3, Alice Bailey said, destroy the Judeo-Christian family structure or the traditional Christian family structure. There's some people today who get angry when you talk about Judeo-Christianity. But let me make this plain. There will be no Christianity without Judaism. The foundation of Christianity is the Abrahamic covenant. God made a covenant to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who were all Jews. Let me make this plain tonight as well, that Jesus was a Jew. So contrary to what Candace Owens is saying, who's spending her time trying to tear down the legacy of Charlie Kirk, fighting against Erica Kirk, his wife. I mean, you have to be cruel and demonic to insinuate the things that she has insinuated over the past several weeks. She's evil. That's what it is. And a big hand clap goes there. Don't get shy on me tonight. I ain't the one. I came too far to play around. It's evil. It's corrupt. It should not take place. She sounds like a jaded person who wish they were in the role that Charlie Kirk's wife is in, but she isn't. And so therefore she seeks to tear down his legacy. And at some point, her husband is going to have to walk into that podcast room and start unplugging cords. I mean, by now I would have already done it if it was my wife. I'm yanking cords, I'm shutting down the camera, shut down the ATEM. Sweetie, get up, get out of this room, and can you please help out with the kids? Because this is a dastardly deed that is being done. I thought that the greatest foe that we would have to contend with after the assassination of Charlie Kirk would be the left. But sadly, it's friendly fire from the right. I'm moving on. Number 4, Alice Bailey said, if sex is free, then make abortion legal and make it easy. Let me tell you tonight, we have pastors who purport that they are pro-choice pastors. and pro-choice Christians, what is that? I mean, every time I turn in this book right here called the Bible, the basic instructions before leaving earth, I don't see any scriptures that talk about, you know, a 20-week bill or a heartbeat bill. But what I do see is this thing called the Ten Commandments. And number 6 says that thou shalt not murder. I do see in Proverbs chapter 6, verses 16 through 19, that God makes it clear that he hates the shedding of innocent blood. I do see in Jeremiah chapter 1 that God called this man to be a prophet even before he was in the uterus of his mother. The Bible is clear on what it says about the sanctity of life. And we need more pastors to preach about this. We have to create a culture of love and life, but that starts in the pulpit. Mamas would run towards the church for help if preachers would just preach the truth. Instead, they're running towards Planned Parenthood to cover up their deed and their act. And every time a mama gets pregnant, a father is involved. Let me say that again, because there are people who will tell you, you know, to take your hands off my uterus. And, you know, if you don't have one, you have no voice. If you don't have a vagina, you shouldn't speak up about the sanctity of life. The devil is a liar. The only way to produce a child, you're going to need a seed and some eggs. And if there's a baby, there's a seed. And there are some eggs. I'm moving on. Number 5, she said, make divorce easy and legal. Free people from the concept of marriage for life. And number 6, she said, make homosexuality an alternative lifestyle. We live in a day and time where men would rather chase men and women would rather chase women. It's sad. It's sad that we see a culture today where even the church has become funny on this topic. And we convince people that you can, yes, make it to heaven living that lifestyle. Let me tell you something, that homosexuality is not a lifestyle, it's a death style. If you choose that death style, you walk in death in the very act of the sinful nature. But we serve a God that won't leave you in that place, but he has the power to deliver you. And if you think that you were born that way, my friends, you can get born again. You can get born again. You can get born again. And then we have this thing called cosmetic femininity. This is where men are beginning to dress up like women. They put on fishnet stockings, long dresses, wigs, makeup, high heel shoes, and they walk around as if they are a woman. No, they are freaks. AOC came out yesterday and talked about the courage of trans men and trans women. It doesn't take courage to dress up like Halloween. That's not courageous. And what it does is it flies in the face of real women and real men. And I think that now more than ever, the people that should be speaking up, trying to protect femininity, should be men, because we are the direct beneficiaries and recipients of a woman's femininity. And so therefore we should be fighting for it. I strongly believe that what's taking place in many restrooms in our country, in many states, what's taking place in sports where men are now competing against women. They couldn't compete against the men. They swim against men and they get last place. Then they come up with a novel idea. I guess I'll just compete against girls. And they jump in swimming pools and compete against girls like they did against Riley Gaines. And the guy, William Thomas, he couldn't even beat her. They tied. What a loser, right? I mean, you just one big failure. You came up with a novel idea, I'll compete against girls, and you really lost. You lost. But what gets me is that men sit in the bleachers, watch this injustice take place. They eat their Mike and Ikes. They eat their M&Ms, plain or peanut. They have their Trolleys. You understand what I'm saying? They have their Skittles. They eat their popcorn, and you got to wash it all down with a Diet Coke, right? Just makes sense that way. And then they watch their daughters get defrauded by a man. At some point, we're going to have a spiritual revival in this country of masculinity where men stop being punks and start speaking up for their families. I wish a man would jump in the swimming pool to compete against my daughter. Now, you know there's a running joke that black people can't swim. It might be true. I don't swim that well, amen. I do all right. I can survive. But let me tell you something. If a man were to jump in a swimming pool to compete against my daughter, I'll learn how to do the front stroke, the back stroke. I'll figure it out on that day because fathers must be vocal. See, when a man squares his shoulder and speaks up, things have to change. That's why feminism is a great destruction on Western civilization. See, you can't talk a man down to a boy, and then when it's time for him to be a man, he doesn't know how to respond. And so now more than ever, we need the support of men to be who they are so that they can be on guard for the family. And guys, don't be afraid. You can clap your hands right there and feel comfortable. I'm in trouble already. Number 7, debase art and make it run mad. This is what Alice Bailey said. She also said use the media to promote and change mindsets. It's called fake news. She said create an interfaith movement. Number 9. And so in other words, put Christianity on equal par with all other religions. Convince people that if you are a Buddhist, if you are Muslim, or atheists, that you're going to the same place ultimately as Christians. An interfaith movement. But we are not called to coexist. And when you go to the scriptures, we have this pesky verse that just messes the plan up of being interfaith, you know? Simply because the Bible says that I am the way, the truth, and the life, and no man comes to the Father but by me. And so we can't coexist. It's either we are right or we are wrong. And I found out a long time ago when I gave my life to Christ in 2003 that we are right. And number 10, here is the clincher. Alice Bailey said, get governments to make all these a law and get the church to endorse these changes. So if you're wondering why we're in the mess that we're in today, it's because the church has bowed her knee to the culture. Let me say this and make it plain. Weak pulpits create weak Christians. Scary preachers create scary sheep. Soft preachers create soft sheep. But strong preachers who stand on the authority, not of their own words, but on the authority of Scripture, they are able to make their congregants strong. And if there's anything that you need in the Pacific Northwest, my God, you need to stand boldly and firm on what thus saith the Lord. You don't have to be afraid of what the Bible says. You don't have to question your belief system. We are right. And the Bible says, let God be true and every man a liar. So you should live out your faith, not quietly, but boldly and loudly. You should be as loud as the perverts. Don't let the perverts outspeak you and outtalk you as it relates to their excitement for their perversion. We are walking in truth. We're not walking in perversion. We're walking in truth. We're walking in holiness. We're walking in righteousness. And we have a right to be bold in what we believe. And so I've now traveled this country fighting against this ideology of Alice Bailey, traveling to school board meetings. I've now been to 23 states speaking up for children, fighting against gender theory, queer theory, critical race theory, diversity, equity, and inclusion, which I call a false triune idol because it mimics the Trinity. In the Trinity, you have Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. And DEI is diversity, equity, and inclusion. And if you do not bow to the sacred cow of DEI, they will try to cancel you, deplatform you, and label you. But you can't cancel a Christian because Christians have already been canceled at the foot of the cross. And so here it is. In my journeys to these school board meetings, I've been kicked out 7 times. Sometimes by 5, 6, and maybe even 7 cops. I've been handcuffed once. I've been threatened often, but I take a licking and keep on ticking. Because I recognize that every person that will seek to live godly in Christ Jesus will suffer persecution. But most people tuck tail and run when the persecution comes. Let's just be honest. I went to California and delivered a message entitled 10 Things That Black Students Don't Need in Education. And what did I do that for? I said that we don't need the soft bigotry of low expectations. And they were like, oh my God, did a black man say that? I said, yes, I did. I said that we don't need critical race theory where we label whites as inherently racist and blacks as proverbial victims. Let me tell you something, man. I'm 6'4", 250 pounds. I'm too big and black to be anybody's victim. And the last time I checked, the Bible calls me a royal priesthood. So how are you going to be royalty and a victim at the same time? It just makes no sense. I have too much grace and favor on my life for me to be anybody's victim. And I don't have to be subservient to the Democrat Party. I wasn't born Democrat. I was born in sin, shaping in iniquity.
Come on.
But I have a right to choose to support Republican candidates. Let me say that again. I have a right to choose. And my color, pigmentation does not force me into a box. You can't put me in a box. I'm not dead yet. I have a right to choose my political party. And I also said that we don't need diversity, equity, and inclusion. And then I just hit him in the jaw when I said this. I said, we don't need white liberals telling us that they know what's best for us than we know what's best for ourselves. Head started to explode. Oh my gosh, we got to get this weirdo out of here. And 2 weeks later, they were writing articles about me, calling me a white supremacist. Just go. I'm the blackest white supremacist that you'll ever meet. I guess so, right? So I wake up in the morning and look at my black wife and say, baby, I want to be the best white man that I could possibly be to you. I want to love you like a white man, talk like a white man, dress like a white man, like a white man. White men, how am I doing? See, I'm not even doing well. But it's foolish. It's foolish to label me as a white supremacist just because I disagree and think that we should not redefine proficiency just to make it easy for everyone to compete academically, just because I believe in limited government and free market principles, that means that I have to be a white supremacist? Man, the devil is a liar. I have a right to have common sense regardless of the fact that common sense has become uncommon in society. I still have a right to have common sense. And so this is the point, my friends, in my close. that John seeks to make in John chapter 20 and verse 19. This is the point. The world was in trouble. The world was chaotic. People were afraid. Matter of fact, the disciples were afraid. They were concerned about their lives. Just like many people were concerned about the death, after the death of Charlie Kirk, concerned about what would happen next, what would happen to TPUSA. And if we continue to speak up and be bold and be loud, what's going to happen? Many people were afraid of this. You see, John 20 verse 19 said that they were assembled because of the fear of the Jews. Fear in the Greek is the word phobos, which is where we get the English word phobia. A phobia is an extreme and irrational or unnecessary fear. It's a fear that's conjured up in one's mind due to the lack of trust, belief, and failure to conquer the unknown. As I speak, there are over 1,000 phobias and or fears and counting. To list a few. First one is autophobia, which is the fear of heights and mountains. I'm a big guy. I'm a strong guy. I'm a pretty tough guy. But I don't like mountains. If I have to drive up a mountain, I don't like doing it. And so I try to stay away from mountains, and I'm right. And the Bible supports me because the Bible doesn't tell us to drive up mountains. It says that we should speak to mountains. See, there's a difference, right? We also have teleophobia, which is the fear of religious ceremonies. There's some people who are afraid of going to church. We have amaxophobia, which is the fear of riding or driving in cars. You have aerophobia, which is the fear of swallowing air. You have palatophobia, which is the fear of bald people.
Come on.
And then you have phylacterophobia, which is the fear of becoming bald. Either way, you're just afraid of the possibility of losing your hair. Then you have calignophobia, which is the fear of beautiful women. Now, I don't know why a guy would have that fear right there. I mean, that makes no sense. And then you have lachiophobia, which is the fear of childbirth. And then you have gamophobia, and this is for all the ladies. This is the fear of marriage. If a guy has to date you for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, just for him to figure out that he loves you, something might be going on. Because it doesn't take a guy a long time to figure out if he's in love with a lady. The song says, when a man loves a woman. Y'all don't know the rest of that song. That's before y'all's time. So I warn you tonight to not allow fear to overcome you and to overtake you. Yes, these are challenging times. Yes, these are dangerous times. And yes, these are threatening times. But we don't have to allow fear to get the best of us. Jesus does something miraculous in John 20, verse 19. Without a door being opened, without a window being opened, he divinely teleports into the upper room. And he doesn't upbraid his disciples for being fearful and trembling after he had told them that he would tear down his temple and repair it in 3 days. Instead, he just shows up like only he can do. And he says to them, peace be unto you. Verse 20 tells us, and when he had so said, he showed them his hands and his side, giving them proof that it was him. Does anybody remember when God proved himself to you? You know, you can't truly be converted until you really believe that he is God and Lord over all. And then verse 21 says, then said Jesus to them again, peace be unto you. My Father hath sent me, even so I send you. And then in verse 22, he does something. He gives them a down payment on what is to come in Acts chapter 2. The Bible says, and he breathed on them. He gave them enough of the Holy Spirit to tide them over in preparation of his ascension. And tonight, God wants us all to walk in his peace, to walk in his proof, and to walk in his power. No, we don't know what's around the corner, but we know who is around the corner. And so as long as I know the who, I don't have to worry about the what. For the Bible says that greater is he that's in you than he that's in the world. God bless you, my friends, tonight. God bless America. Thank you so much.
All right. So that was John Amachukwu. And I wanted to play that because there was a big dust up because of what he said about Candace Owens. And somebody asked, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to play the young lady who allegedly went to this church, and she's the one that put out the tweet that got everything started at, Candace replied saying that, all they're doing is talking about me, blah, blah, blah. And I think you saw right there that, he mentioned her one time in passing, and there was no, deep dive into the bowels of who Candace is or anything of that nature. It was just a one-time, one-off conversation or one-off reference. But I want to bring the young lady on real quick. I did not plan on doing this, but I do have it linked. I'm ready to pull it in. I want to bring the young lady in because I'm looking at her TikTok, and I might be going crazy. I might be, again, maybe I'm just being super conspiracy. I don't trust a lot of stuff anymore from these yahoos. But I'm wondering if she really went to this church. And I don't believe she did. Now, I could be wrong. I have no reason. She's given me no reason to believe that she went. So I don't think that I'm wrong by saying I don't think she actually went. I think she just found a clip, whatever reason, however she found it, because the clips that she shows it's not like she did it with her own camera. So this is the clip that we saw in this video. So somehow or another that clip got out there. She shared it and says she went there, but I don't know. Looking at her TikTok, I'm not convinced that she's there. And you know what? Because y'all do a good job of searching this stuff out too. I'm going to drop it in here in the chat for y'all, and then we'll watch this and then we'll get out of here. And y'all let me know. Shoot me an email, dearwokec@gmail.com. I just dropped her link. That's her TikTok. If you feel like maybe you can say that she was there at that church, then, please let me know. I would love to hear it. And I'd love to, I'll take correction for sure. I do want to say thank you so much to Brittany. She says this, may be behind on the live, but we can't prioritize protecting our daughters because their ideology says our sons could be our daughters who deserve access, hence why they reject any distinctions. And you're 1,000% correct. Thank you so much for the $10 super. Okay, I'm going to bring in this young lady, and I just want y'all tell me, did she watch the sermon that we just watched? Because I don't think she did.
So I went to a TP
Green hearts in the chat
event tonight.
I'm gonna back it out. Green hearts in the chat when you can hear. I don't think she went. I'm just gonna. I'm doubting everything. I doubt everything, right? I doubt that she went. I don't think she did. Listen to it.
So I went to a TPUSA faith event tonight, and I want to talk about it. Thinking that I was going to enjoy myself and learn things because TPUSA is obviously a conservative faith-based foundation, or so I thought. I thought I was going to be informed about politics stemming strictly from biblical principles, and that's not my experience. So right off the bat, the speaker comes up and before he even gets into preaching or talking about politics, he begins by calling out Candace Owens and saying that she is evil and
That's what I'm saying, y'all. I don't think she was there. She got this clip from somewhere and just ran with it. Because as we saw, he doesn't mention Candace till almost 6 minutes in. He talked about his wife. He talked about traveling from North Carolina out there. He talked about a whole slew of other things well before he got to talking about Candace. And even in that, it's just like he mentioned her name once. It's not like he talked about her and berated her for 4 whole minutes strong. He literally just mentioned her and Tucker and kept it moving and referenced she and her after that. But he's not like dogging her out. I don't think she was there. I really don't. Watch.
Anti-Semitic and what she's doing is evil. I immediately wanted to leave. I didn't want to be there any longer listening to this.
That is the most viral clip out of that sermon. So she just heard that viral clip. I don't think she was there. I'm trying to see, like, tell me that she was there.
Nonsense, because right off the bat, I know that that's just not true. And the only reason I didn't leave is because on the way in, I basically got, like, security checked, like, 5 times because there was armed men, like, standing everywhere in front of me. They were very suspicious of me. Like, I don't know. There was also an armed man on stage, like, hand on his gun. Like, the security was everywhere. And I was like, I just don't want to deal with it. Not that that's necessarily a bad thing, but it's...
So there's security guards there, so I did not want to leave. Right? Like, does that comport? Like, I'm nervous because there's security guards here, so I'll stay here where the security guards are. Okay. I don't think she was there. I think this is all she's trying to do. I just think she's there just to talk down TPUSA. Because, and I tell y'all this story all the time. We have almost as many guns in my church as we have Bibles. I've never worried about that. I'm never worried that I know, and I know a lot of the machinery that's in our church. I know what's there. Like, I never bat an eye. I don't tell my wife about it. I don't brag about it. Hey, I just know if anything goes south, I know who's here to take care of us. It's going to make sure we get home safe as best possible. Why should the presence of armed guards make you worried? That makes no sense. You go to a bank, there's armed guards there. There are armed police officers at your NFL football game. Do you get worried when you see them there? Why do you get worried when you see them? That makes no sense. I don't think she was there. I think she's just lying. I think she's lying.
It just didn't feel right. So I'm in this church and I'm listening to this TPUSA like speaker go on and on about Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, and how they're evil and anti-Semitic.
He only said them one time. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, she only got that bit, that clip, and ran with the clip. I don't know how she got the clip and put it out there like she was, but this is not like, this is from the clip that we watched, the video that we watched. It's not like she got her, she had her cell phone out and recorded it. That's not it.
And he basically indirectly is saying we should support Israel because Jesus was a Jew and we wouldn't have Christianity without Judaism. And
Part of the clip.
Obviously, I disagree with that. What they're doing in Israel is evil and they're so corrupt. It's insane. And telling Christians that they should be supporting this evil doing because these people are Jewish, and if you don't, you're anti-Semitic, like, it's wrong. And also, I don't think Charlie Kirk would stand for that. We know, as, like, the weeks before his passing, he was starting to call out Israel and question Israel. And Candace Owens was his best friend. Like, what?
This poor young lady, as I gave you this story earlier, these young people, this young crowd that is lecturing adults on stuff. Ma'am, you're just literally regurgitating the clownery that you've heard from Candace. I mean, that doesn't even make sense. The man, Charlie Kirk, had a whole wife. You want me to believe that Candace was more his friend than his wife? Like, come on, stop. Come on, be so for real. Be for real. That doesn't even make sense. I'm not trying to do the whole your wife or your husband should be your best friend. I do think that they should. But do you want me to believe that Candace was more his friend than Erica, but Candace can't show you anything, proof that they've been in contact in the last 5 years? Okay. Be for real.
He goes on and he starts preaching. But the way he was preaching, it wasn't really preaching. He was just literally calling like the left names. He called the left idiots. He called them freaks. He called them it didn't feel right. And my thought process is, would Jesus be doing this? Is this biblical teaching? Like, you're calling people that we disagree with as Christians all these names in loser, idiot, freak. Really? Because last time I checked, Jesus ate with sinners. He ate with prostitutes. So you're spreading hate.
So real quick, because I want to make sure that I get on somebody's nerve. Whenever somebody tells you that Jesus ate with sinners, that Jesus hung out with prostitutes, what they're trying to tacitly say is, don't judge me. They're like, I can do whatever I want and remain in the place that I'm at. And you can't judge me because Jesus ate with sinners. Jesus hung out with prostitutes. Jesus was with tax collectors. Like, that's why they say that. That's why they say that. So anyway, just want to pick a fight.
Hate, literally. And that's not what God stands for. He's preaching to people whilst spreading hate. And these people are absorbing this information. These teenagers, these young people are absorbing this information, thinking that this is okay. This is a leader. This is someone we put on our stage teaching us this. This is the future generation of Christians. Do we really want to be more divided? Like, oh, we're just going to hate on the left because we disagree with them. We're not going to share the Bible with them. We're not going to like help them because we think that they're lost.
Did John Amachuku say that? Is that what John Amachuku said? I'm just asking a question. We watched the whole sermon. Is that what he said? Is that what he did? I don't know what he said. I don't think this young lady was there. I don't believe she was there. I'm sorry.
We're just going to call them losers and freaks and make fun of them and laugh it off. It was quite disgusting, and I'm not pleased at all. So basically, I didn't learn a thing. He spent the entire time talking about liberals and how they're stupid and blah, 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 and like how...
He went down what I thought was very interesting. We're doing a studio upgrade coming up. So there'll be a studio upgrade coming up this week. If you pick up the book, The Naked Communist, those lists of 10 things that John Amachuku was talking about, they're actually listed in here as part of the plan of communism. And I always thought it was very interesting, the plan of communism to debase art. It is so interesting. And I don't want to, because everything John said in there was absolutely correct. And it's in this book, The Naked Communist. But one of the things that really stood out to me is just how part of the communist push is to make art gross and grotesque and non-appealing and almost make you feel like you're crazy because you don't think that this art looks good. You're like, I don't get that. That doesn't make sense. That's part of it. So some of the things that we're seeing in modern parlance is because of this push to debase art to the point that what is considered beauty is something totally crazy. Think about the Hunger Games and the Capitol. The Capitol is a perfect example of that debasing of art. And then the other things that he talked about were spot on the money as well. But I just thought that was really good. Okay, let's get done. Just a few more seconds.
Men shouldn't be in women's locker rooms and women's sports. And I'm thinking we have more important things to talk about as Christians in this nation than things that we see plastered all over online. Like, yeah, we all know. We know that men shouldn't be in women's sports. We know that they shouldn't be in women's bathrooms. That's not the most important topic, okay?
Is that all that John talked about? I don't believe she was there. I really don't. I could be wrong. Maybe somebody will find proof that she lives down the street around the corner from where the church was. Okay, then I'll come back and say I was wrong. I don't think she was there, though. I don't think she was. I think she just made that up. And she knows that you almost can guarantee without even... Like, we could probably write a script and say, hey, if there's a TPUSA event, what are some topics you know they're going to hit in just the opening? We might not know the sermon, but we can know they're going to talk about certain topics. You almost can guarantee it. Same thing if we were talking about, hey, there's a Democrat rally. What are some topics they're going to talk about? We know it. We already know the plot. So we don't even have to be there. We can probably write it, and I'd be, I'd say maybe 60, 65% right. Probably even more, because a lot of it is just, okay, is boilerplate. Now, of course, the introduction of the scriptures, that does change it up a little bit, but really, I don't think that young lady was there. I know that sounds bad, and I think she's lying. I think she's lying. And whole cloth, but anyway. I don't think he mentioned Tucker either. Maybe I'll go back and watch again. I don't think he mentioned Tucker, and he didn't rail about him. He just mentioned him in a passing. I mean, maybe 90 seconds worth, maybe 2 minutes tops. Anyway. Yeah, I think that was just interesting. So anyway, that was a young lady, and we saw John Amachuku. Shout out to him. I want to say thank y'all so much for rocking with him. This has been a fun show. It has. Looking at my notes here. Thank y'all, everybody. Last month, the month of November that we're currently in, was fantastic. Thank y'all so much for not only hitting the like button, I think we got like 75,000 likes or something like that, but also watching the videos, something like 1.7 million views. That's craziness, man. That's crazy that y'all tap in so much. And I really do appreciate it. It's humbling to know that you all like the content and what we're doing over here. So thank you all so much. I'll hit that like button on the way out the door, though, for sure. We ain't got to end yet. We can hit that like button still. But I just want to say thank you. I really do appreciate it. The plan for the week, if your girl goes live tomorrow, we'll be back. We'll be doing it again. On Tuesday, if she goes live on Tuesday, we might delay watching it until 6:00 p.m. because we have Nathan Livingstone coming on from Milk Bar TV. Shout out to Milk Bar TV. He's going to be coming on Tuesday, and we'll be talking. We have some things to already talk about, but if he comes on during the same time, we might just watch Candace and have some fun with Nathan talking about it. So that'll be that on Tuesday. And then the rest of the week, we got all our other shenanigans, of course. But I'm going to say again, I don't think she's going to go live. I think she's going to hide out. I think she's going to hang out at Dollywood. She's going to lay low, and she's not going to get in the mix. I think she's trying to try to let some of these stories that she's been putting out there with the whole, the assassination and another 9/11. She done put out some crazy theories because though she wasn't on YouTube, she was on Twitter acting up. And I don't think she's going to come out. I really don't. But thank you so much, Future. I appreciate that. There you go. I really do appreciate it. But so we'll make sure that we keep you abreast on what's going on this week, and I'm just making sure I see everything correctly. Was that this week though? That wasn't new, was it? I have that video, but I don't think it was new. We're not watching that tonight, y'all. Look, it's past my bedtime. But I have that video. Or maybe we'll let me look at it, make sure and ascertain the time. But if so, then we'll do it again real soon. But y'all, I want to say thank you so much for that. Thank you so much to everybody who subscribed, everybody who's been liking the videos and commenting. Thank you for giving me feedback and such like that. Thank you to everybody that sent me that video. I mean, a picture of her at Dollywood. Good gracious alive. How is she at Dollywood, man? But she's in fear for her life. But you at Dollywood. That's crazy work. That is some crazy work. But I do want to say thank you. I really do appreciate it. And I'm glad that we're finding some good content here that you all enjoy. So please let me know if you run across things. Again, you can shoot me an email. It doesn't matter if you send me the Dollywood picture again. It's okay. Sorry, I saw that picture. I'm not 100% certain it's new like this week. I will look at it again, the video rather. I'll look at it. Did I download it? I think I downloaded it already. Let me see real quick while I'm talking. No, I did not. I gotta pull it up. And let me know, did y'all like the body cams? Those things were crazy. If I find some good ones, maybe we'll do that. We'll do some body cams periodically just to have a good laugh. And because some of them are just totally wild. She posted the video of the whistleblower. Can I ask what that was in reference to? I feel like I missed something. We need to pray for her and Candace. Who was that? Who was the her? Oh, there we go. What she's missing is the church doesn't call out the fool, then the church is wrong. I'm with you 100%. I don't know who this young lady is. I'm wondering, like I said, I doubt highly. I'm not getting that she was there. I just don't get that she was there. It just sounds like she got the clip. She knows what the clip is about. You know they're going to be talking about men and women's sports. That's pretty straightforward. You know he's going to be talking about conservative principles, conservative talking points. You almost could write the script without even seeing it. I mean, really. Okay. I want to look into... Now I need to tell me to reverse photo search for the date. Okay. Oh, that's a good point. I'll look into it. Y'all, thank y'all so much for rocking with me. I appreciate y'all. Let's do this again real soon. So tomorrow, the plan is that we'll do as soon as I know for a fact that she's coming on, but I'm pretty sure if she comes on, it'll be around that 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So as soon as I get an idea, I'll make sure I put up a stream. And if not, we might do a stream later on. Who knows? Anyway, thank y'all so much for rocking with me. I'll see you all real soon. Grace and peace. Take care. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Jay Whitt Podcast. If you enjoyed today's show, please do me a favor and hit me up with that 3-piece special. Like the video, subscribe, and of course, share it with somebody who would also enjoy this type of content. And make sure you leave a comment because I do pin the best comments to the top. So thank you so much for tuning in today. And until next time, everybody, grace and peace.